Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining the Mr. E Crimecast. I am Mr. E. I'm joined by Mrs. E and our guest, Aunt E. I hope everybody's doing great. It's been a few days for us since we've been away, but we appreciate everybody joining us back here. See a lot of familiar names here in the chat, of course. Let's see, Tit for Tat, who's a newer mod for us. Thank you so much for being here with us. I did great last time. I'm sure you'll do great tonight. We really appreciate that. That it helps us to keep everything clean in there, right? Breezy Crushing with the Sandman was the first to hit the like button. Very good. Congratulations. The Real Me Too. Good evening to you also. Tiffany, good evening to you as well. Amber Martin, Little Am, can't wait. Hope my household is this quiet in 30 minutes. Sebastian Strong. Yeah, we hope ours is quiet too. And Lisa, good evening to you. Great. Well, and PK Shirey is number 17. Miss Holly from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Rosebud, Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith, probably a play on Mrs. Smith, right? Hello. And Rhonda and Adamson.
Rhonda's a member.
And Rhonda's a member. Okay, great. Well, we appreciate you joining us here tonight.
Check on something real quick here. How's the volume?
Yes.
Can everybody
hear
me okay,
we probably
too?
need to move this closer, don't we?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Oh, and K-Mac's here. Hi, K-Mac. HM Hands. Let's see. Jules is here. Pebbles. Oh, we've got lots of fun people here.
There's Anita Pickle.
Oh, Anita Pickle. I like that. Dorothy Hurd.
I thought it was. I didn't catch the play there, so Anita Pickle.
That's funny.
Yes.
All right.
And Garrett is back.
Hi, Garrett.
Thank you for letting us know about the volume and helping us out last episode with the Caleb Harris stuff too.
Yeah.
Helping to confirm some of that. K-Mac is back. Good to see you again, K-Mac.
Mrs. Smith.
Oh, that's cute. So Mrs. Smith said third graders she called her Mrs. Smith, so that's nice.
That's awesome. I am Bear. Hi.
Charlene, good to see you back too.
Okay,
great. So got a good group coming in already.
I have a quick update before you
start.
We've gotten rid of most of the fruit flies. We are still having just a little bit of trouble, but most of them are gone. And Auntie is still visiting. So, Funny Face Brenda's a new subscriber. Thank you for subscribing.
Thank you, Funny Face.
And also, I want to give a shout out to Tip for Tat because she has made us some really cool songs, which I think we're going to be voting on at some point.
I forgot we were doing that. I got to write that.
Oh, you didn't write that in your schedule?
I got to make sure we don't forget.
Okay. Yes, we've got some cool songs. And she's amazing. She's an amazing
pretty sure
person.
everybody's going to enjoy the song.
Hi, Tit for Tat.
I'm pretty sure.
HM Hands likes the setup. Well, this is not permanent. This is only why Granny is sleeping in our studio.
The only thing, I do like being in this room. I love this room anyway.
Yeah, we hardly get to use it.
It's just a little more open, so the sound is not quite as good as when we're in the back room. So that's the only thing I don't like about being out here.
Okay. Well, Breezy is my favorite person tonight. I don't feel stunning. I feel frizzy. But thank you.
Very good. Mrs. E needed that today. That's very good. Thank you.
Yeah. People think I look grumpy because I'm reading the chat, I think. So I'm not grumpy. I promise I'm not.
HM Hands is excited about the songs.
Oh, and Olivia B., our wonderful moderator, is here. And Olivia B. has her own channel. So please, Olivia, please put that in the chat so that put the link in the chat so that everybody can join up on your channel. She's got some great videos and she's going to be going live soon. Oh, and Charlene's here. Charlene is such a sweetie.
Yes.
You always have the sweetest comments. They cheer me up every time I see them.
Olivia, did you have a good vacation? Or are you still on vacation? I don't know if you're back yet or not.
No,
but
I don't know. She's been gone all summer.
Rhonda's
asking, I thought it was a vacation.
Rhonda's asking how to change her name.
You can go into, I believe, your YouTube settings and change your name.
Yes, you can go. You should be able to go into your settings or your profile and then hit edit and be able to make the change to your name.
Yes. That's right. Yeah, I think that's how you do it. Care German said, "Oh, that's nice. Wish people would just be positive. You don't look grumpy at all. Thank you."
You know how it is that most people are positive.
They are.
Most people are
I
positive.
just,
The one little negative sticks out. That's
yeah,
all.
but usually I'm just trying to read chat. We did go back to our old streaming platform, which is StreamYard, and this is much easier, even though it's not as user friendly for videos and stuff. So you guys may have to bear with me on videos. But Breezy's been a member for 1 month. That's awesome.
Thank you, Breezy.
Whoops,
We do
I'm trying to
appreciate
show
it.
it. Oh, and does it? We think exactly alike. So, oh, Sharon Chilton says we're both beautiful. Oh, you haven't seen us up close, Sharon, but thank you. I'm just kidding. Oh, and Olivia says that she is in Florida. Dog got.
Oh no, her dog's missing.
Oh,
Since Saturday.
Oh,
Oh, I
I'm
hope
so
somebody
sorry.
has found him.
Yeah, that's what 4 days, I guess. 3 or 4 days now.
Oh.
Wow. Does he or she do that a lot where they kind of goes and comes back, or is it
Just got out of the gate.
yeah.
So hopefully he'll show back up.
Oh, let's see. That's terrible. And Rhonda says she'll get the 13-year-old to help, and I have to be honest, that's what I have to
That's
do.
what we do.
We don't even know how to start this thing.
Olivia says she's
son has
never
to do
left
it.
before.
Oh no.
Oh,
Hopefully somebody's got her and keeping her till you get home.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Send some positive thoughts and prayers to Olivia so that she gets her puppy back when she gets home from Florida.
That's awful.
That makes me feel sad.
Yes.
Of all people, she's
I
such
know.
a wonderful person. She doesn't deserve
Yeah, I
to have
know.
her dog missing.
No.
Oh,
And we all love our dogs.
yes, we do. H.M. Hand says prayers. I think we all should do some prayer hands for
Mhm.
Olivia to help that she finds her dog. She's a pug Chihuahua mix.
Chihuahua.
And I don't know if we've been streaming too long or not, but my first thought was, should we do a stream about the dog so we could help find it?
Maybe we
That
are.
was
I
my
know.
first thought.
Oh, she's only 2.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, gosh.
I've known dogs. Dogs turn up a lot. So
Yeah.
a lot of good
sure.
people out there, good Samaritans that rescue dogs and keep them for you.
That's
Hopefully
true.
they're
That's possible.
chipped. If they're chipped, that helps a ton.
Local Facebook groups. I mean, I'm sure you've done all this because, you already.
Yeah, somebody might be holding on to it, just trying to find the owner, hopefully.
Yeah, that stinks. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's see. Who else do we have? Hi, Ann. Let's see.
Oh, she's microchipped. That's a great.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Oh, that's really good.
That's good. We haven't done that with one of our
Mm-mm.
dogs. One of them is, but one's not.
Yeah, I did that quickly. I'm just terrified of losing them.
Well, if Olivia, if there's anything we can do, I mean, I don't know.
That's good. She says she's got her in every Facebook
We can
group,
post
so.
her on our page. I mean, I don't,
Yeah,
we
okay.
can do any, we've got 3,000-ish followers, if that would help. It's up to you though. Just let us know. Let's see. Woohoo. Oh, Rockin' Rhonda says, woohoo, gotta love the grandkids. Well, hello. All right. Well, you guys ready to get started?
Let's get started.
What
We
do
have a lot to go.
We do have a lot to go.
We always do, and we had to cut some stuff tonight because we just didn't think we could do it all tonight. Actually,
Yeah, we did have to cut some stuff.
we're gonna move
We've
it
been
to
busy.
other shows. We're getting
Buffalo Mountain, Tennessee girl. I like that name. That's nice.
we are following a lot of cases right
Mhm.
now, and so some of them are making different progress, and so we're trying to keep up with updates on the ones. We're really going to kind of focus on 2 cases tonight. The first we'll be talking about is the Trinity Bostic lady that was found in early July after being missing in Hendersonville, just about a mile or so away from Sebastian Rogers. And then the latter half of this show, we'll be talking about Sebastian Rogers, Seth with his upcoming.
Well, that's what Robin actually already jumped ahead of us, which is good because we were going to talk about this as well to encourage everybody to go watch Seth's live on Thursday at 8 p.m.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about what we know about that, what he's doing there, and kind of some footage we did also concerning the cemetery, and some kind of playing out some theories over in that area that we've never discussed before. So we're kind of got those two main topics we're going to talk about. So the reason we wanted to do the Trinity Bostic first was that there was kind of a, I don't know if it's really an update, just kind of a bizarre twist actually to this story. We've talked about this maybe 2 or 3 different episodes so far on our show, but if you don't know this story, just to kind of refamiliarize yourself or give you a background on it, Trinity Bostic was first reported missing June 29th in Macon County, and it's where Lafayette, Tennessee. So it's about an hour and a half from Hendersonville. But that really didn't make a lot of news. It really wasn't out there. What really got the attention was when a body was found near that Costco on July 3rd. And right away, everyone kind of thought, well, is this Sebastian? Basically, because it's so close to the Proudfoot home where he had gone missing. And of course, it turned out to be Trinity. But leading up to that, we had thought there were several other, young ladies that had been missing in Middle Tennessee. We were speculating who it might be. It turned out to be Trinity, which we hadn't even seen come across our radar as a missing person at all. And even locals and friends of hers didn't know that she was missing. Anyway, they ended up identifying her, and she was ultimately she was shown to have died from a gunshot wound to the face. And it was by another 17-year-old who was arrested a few days later. He lives over in Westmoreland. He's a juvenile. He's being charged as an adult. So his mugshot and all of that aren't quite available to the public yet until that's official in August. But he's being charged with first-degree murder. And when they went to his home, they found 2 guns. There was a 9mm and a bag that also had some of her belongings in it. They caught his vehicle on several highway cams, license plate readers, and that kind of thing. So it's looking like it's going to be a pretty. They've got a pretty strong case against that man. So we're that's where that all stands right now. There's a couple of controversies that have come out around the story and mysteries. One of those is just why was the whole community unaware that this lady was missing? Lots of people were upset about that there wasn't some kind of more prominent news out there, that she wasn't listed in any kind of Amber Alert and things of that nature. And we don't really have great answers for any of that, because when we went to the websites for the police departments there, they didn't have any flyers up on even like their webpage or anything about it. Even after her body had been discovered, there really wasn't anything there. So people were upset about that, the lack of attention that this missing teen got. To me, it is sort of inexcusable. It's a small community. It's a small town. I mean, there's not, a missing teen in a small area like that should be a priority number one, you would think, for the police department and their social media director, whoever runs that page. But anyway, that she wasn't out there. Most people didn't know she was missing. The kind of twist, I guess, there's another aspect to this. There have been rumors out there about her.
Yes.
Right. So it's been hard to kind of sift through what has been true and not true. And we find out today that some of those rumors were apparently malice in a way. So another teen was arrested today and given 2 charges for making false reports and falsifying evidence. And we can't give the girl's name or any of those details, but
we do know it, but we're just not going to do that because she's a juvenile.
Yes, I'm going to try to be careful and make sure I don't overstate anything. So stop me
Right.
if it feels like I'm about to, but I'm going to be very careful with this. So she's a juvenile. She's going to be tried as a juvenile, but she is facing 2 fairly serious charges.
Mhm.
And it's really awful what this girl did. We do have a source that has passed some information.
Can I stop for
Yes.
a second? I would just want to welcome Seth Rogers is here.
Hi, Seth. Welcome in. I don't think we've had you in our chat before.
You want to read this?
Yes. So Seth Rogers says, it seems to me that we need policy changes to the point that children are first priority.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%, Seth. And we are, if you can remind us, is it 7 p.m. Central for your show, or is it 8 p.m. Central? We want to make sure that everybody knows to go to your show on Thursday. With that, Seth's going to be talking with Gabby Petito's father.
Right. Yeah, and we're gonna be talking about.
And welcome, Seth. I'm sorry, I forgot to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome, Seth.
We're happy to have you here.
Yes, very much.
And congratulations on the channel. Hope it's all going well. And it's just from our own experience, it's a little tricky at times. And we make little mistakes here. We keep going.
It says it's 7 Central. Okay, so it's going to be 7 Central on Thursday. On Seth's channel. You guys go over there and subscribe. If one of the mods would put his channel link up here, I would really appreciate it.
Or if he's got it, he could do it.
Oh, well, it might be hard though. He's not he's just getting started. So our mods are super quick. So I thought that maybe they could help out.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But yes, we want to support that, and we will be there. We'll be watching.
Absolutely. Yeah, we watched the last one. It was great to see all the pictures of
He said he appreciated
Sebastian. And like we said, I don't know if you've watched our channel before or not, Seth, but I think it's a great idea to get those pictures out there of Sebastian, kind of remind the public why we're all staying invested in the case. Remind people about this young man, and because the more people care about him, the harder it will be for people to kind of drop the story, drop the case. That people need to care. So.
Right.
Having that personal connection, showing the childhood photos and videos, it's I think a great strategy to keep him out there in the public consciousness. So I thought it was great. So I hope you keep sharing the pictures. We all like to see the young man also.
Absolutely.
So we and also it helps us just kind of keep focused and remember. There's a lot of distractions, but really it's all about. Justice and finding him, and hopefully bringing him home. So yeah, that'll be Thursday night, 7:00. We confirmed that, and somebody put the channel up.
And we were gonna later on go over a little bit of why it's really great that he's talking to Gabby Petito's father.
We're going to talk a little bit about that case, and there's a few things that when we were going through it that I thought kind of tie in a little bit to Sebastian's situation that I'd kind of like to talk about. And if any of you are not familiar with the Gabby Petito story, we're going to just kind of give a little background on how her father, how their situation unfolded, and that happened just a few years ago. But yeah, so what happened with this teen? Yes.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Serenity gave us a super chat.
Oh, thank you, Serenity.
Thank you, Serenity 72. We appreciate that.
One big problem is that if you are a teenager, you're automatically considered a runaway unless evidence of foul play.
Yes.
And we've talked about that as well.
I don't know how I don't know how to fix it, but it is a problem. It just isn't given a priority, when they treat it as a runaway. And in this girl's case, it, her life was really in serious danger and wasn't treated with any urgency. But the flip side of it, and I know the argument to it is if you have a flood of missing persons alerts, every time there's a runaway, because there are a lot of runaways, that it could just become noise and not just start to be ignored by the public, and you don't want that either.
And I also think the police sometimes consider, well, it's just a runaway. They'll show up in a day or two. And we do find that with a lot of these cases that we start to investigate, thinking that it could be a crime involved. And then 2 days later the runaway shows up somewhere else or with friends in another town. So oftentimes I think that's why the police don't always give it their full attention, and the public as well, because they often turn out to be runaways.
And I think we saw a number once that was 1 in 10,000. Is that what it was? Was it 1 in 10,000?
I think it was something like that.
Yeah. So this is where this story, I mean, this is really awful what ends up happening here with this person kind of spreading these rumors. And we'd heard a little bit about this indirectly, but didn't know exactly the source.
Oh.
So what happened? Sure.
I'm so sorry. I know people get mad when I do this, but Tit for Tat just gifted a membership. If you received a membership from Tit for Tat, please thank her, and thank you, Tit for Tat, for that. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do our super chat
the celebration.
Right. So I have to do that really quick. I'm sorry. I know you guys hate when I interrupt him. Let's see. So our celebration is which one?
Maybe they love it. We don't know.
I don't know. So we'll do some confetti bursts.
Okay.
Oh, confetti burst for the membership. All right. And then also for Serenity, we do the stars for thank you for the super chat as well. So sorry. I know I just try to.
Yeah. So I just wanted to, what I'm going to read the message, and this was what happened.
Which one is this?
I'm going to read the first one.
Okay.
So the first one was,
and we do have these messages. I don't want anybody doxxed, so we're not showing them. But we do have these messages.
I'm going to try to say suspect and things of that nature and not give any names. But what happened was the biological mother to Trinity, someone had forwarded her a message that she had received and seen out there from this juvenile. And the message read, "I'm the reason Trinity Bostic died. I dared a guy to kill her, and he did." And I had heard this rumor kind of going around out there about her. This is one we didn't talk about on our show because we try to stay away from the rumors. But that was one of the many rumors that were kind of floating around out there on the internet. So this person forwards this to the mother just to say, "Hey, I don't know if there's anything to this. I think it's probably a prank, but you probably need to get this to law enforcement." And that's how the mother became aware of it. Okay. So then eventually this person set up we think a dummy account on Facebook, correct? That's what we think is happened. They set up a fake account on Facebook and messaged the mother directly. Okay. Now this to me is beyond. It says, "I'm the reason." So you gotta think this is going to the mother of the child, right?
This is horrible.
"I'm the reason Trinity got killed. I dared the guy to do it. I knew every detail that went into it. I'm glad that skank is dead." Okay. Directly to the mother through, I guess, Facebook Messenger, I think is what.
Yes, that
right.
was. I could probably show that one, but I didn't really want to dox the mom either.
It had some phone number.
Yeah, it had an address and a phone number as well, which is weird.
So just really disgusting to do that. We've seen this in other cases. People that decide they just
want to be
insert themselves in these kind of vile ways.
It's awful.
I guess her name won't ever publicly be out there. I don't think they're going to end up trying her as an adult for something like this, but it's very upsetting for everyone, the family, incredibly stupid on this person's part too, because I was thinking today, by her making a statement like that, what if the man, the 17-year-old that is being accused of first-degree murder, what if he went along with this and said, "Yes, I did do this on a dare. This was really her fault," or she could be facing some very serious legal consequences because she's making an admission like this, and just incredibly stupid and so disgusting to do that to a mother that's just lost her child. So I don't know what kind of, it'll be a juvenile detention kind of thing. I don't know if she's had other arrests, but I don't know what kind of consequences she'll face. It appears that the community knows who she is. like her peers know.
Mhm.
Maybe the public shaming that she's going to get at school and that kind of thing will be, because I'm going to guess that everyone is repulsed by this.
Absolutely.
So anyway, so you might have heard some of this today. This just came out today about that. And then
Nick Barris also went over, the juvenile being arrested for tampering. Isn't that what it was?
It's false reporting and falsifying evidence.
Okay.
And so, those would be fairly serious convictions to get if you were an adult. I don't know what that'll mean for her as a juvenile.
I guess I just don't understand how people can be that mean.
I don't
just
know.
don't understand.
I think a lot of times, though, they think they have this anonymity by using some fake profile on Facebook, and they don't realize all that can be so easily traced. And kids, if they are bragging to other kids, "Hey, I did this. Isn't this funny?" It gets out immediately, and the people went straight to the police with this information, and so she was reported almost immediately.
Yeah.
I'm
sure it's humiliating for the family and everybody on her end, her parents and all of that.
But you're right. Charlene says, that's so cruel. The family is suffering enough. What is wrong with people? I have no idea. I can't imagine. Yeah. There's been some weird people on that case inserting themselves and spreading around rumors, that have not been true at all. I just don't understand why people feel the need to do things like that, but they do. We've seen it in the Sebastian Rogers case also. That's a good point. Tit for Tat says, I wonder if the juvenile has a criminal history, juvenile detention, that'll play a role in what happens. That's a very good point.
Yes, if she has a record, I'm sure that they'll go less likely to be lenient at all.
There's a lot of people that have commented about her on social media, but I can't verify the comments
because we try to stay away from rumors.
Because I don't know, but there are a lot of comments being made about her from people that know her.
You could type in, sorry guys, the gnats love me.
Actually, you could go to Nick Barris.
Yeah, go to Nick Barris's post on Facebook.
If you look in his comments section, there's a lot of people that seem to know her, or at least claim to, the person that we're talking, the juvenile, and they'll talk about kind of her reputation.
Yeah, and we've seen pictures of, at this point, we have a source that sent us pictures of the person who is a juvenile who is being charged with first-degree murder. We also have pictures of the person who did this.
Yes.
Who is being charged with false reporting and falsifying evidence.
Mm-hmm.
We have all we have many chat messages and many details. But like I said, I don't really want anybody doxxed, and we're not going to reveal our source because we don't want our source to have any problems either.
Yeah, if she wants to reveal herself, that'll be up to her. Yes.
Exactly. So,
as far as our source goes, we're not going to.
But anyway, if you guys want to go look and see what people have said, it's a very interesting chat. It's on Nick Barris's Facebook.
If there's any kind of good that came out of any of this story, the kids at the school raised looked like over $15,000 for her funeral. That was the senior class that did that for her.
That's really awesome. That's amazing.
They did that through GoFundMe, so that was great. For them to have done that. There's some other things that our source had kind of given us some back, just a little behind the scenes information, a little bit. Nothing quite as dramatic as this. Just that. Looks like the mother was not aware that Trinity had been reported missing for several days.
She wrote that in our chat. We could show that, I guess. I mean, well, it does show her username, though.
Yeah.
Hi, Carla. Thanks for joining us.
But she
from
did
the
post
UK.
It.
Hi, Carla.
She did post it herself. So we can do that if you want. I can pull it up.
And then I think the people that were there that identified her were the father and one of her siblings. That went down to the police station to do that.
Would you like me to pull that up?
No, I don't.
You don't think so?
I don't think we have to. Do we have anything in the chat we want to?
Pam says it's 105 in Nevada.
We're congratulating someone.
Carla
awesome
says it's 2:15 in the UK, but it's too hot to sleep.
Well, welcome, Carla. We appreciate you. we can't figure out our times. We know we have a few people in the UK who like to watch us, but we are just really bad at figuring out when the best time to go.
And that's something you can talk about. We have so much going on, and we have full-time jobs and other things.
Yeah,
and
you want to address that about, everyone keeps asking us if we'll go search with certain.
Oh yeah, we've had a few people ask us about getting involved in searches and things of that nature. And
it's not that we don't want to.
Yeah, so I this first clicked with me, I think, from Seth in one of his interviews, because he was talking about how you'd have these people do searches, and it could interfere with your search efforts, and it didn't make sense to me until he explained it. But if you're doing searches that are not massively organized or not centrally organized, it can cause problems. So like if you had a farm that you wanted to search, but you had someone else that had been there a month prior that had approached the owner of that farm saying, hey, I'd like to search your property for this missing kid, Sebastian Rogers. Do you mind if I take a few hours to search the property with whatever? Even if you mean well, when Seth's team comes through a month later and they're ready to approach that farm for doing a search, then the owner says, well, weren't you just here a month ago? And then it might be like, well, why would I let you search my property again? No, I don't want to do that again. So it really needs to be centrally organized if you're going to do searches like this at this point. I mean, of course, we all can kind of keep our eyes open. And
I'm sure Seth will talk about that possibly on Thursday if he has any upcoming searches, because I know he has an organized group that goes out.
Yeah.
So maybe he can talk about that.
But at this point, the searching does need to be organized. It needs to be like checklist driven with priority locations. I'm sure they've got their list of their 10, 20 places they'd like to check next, and go through them one by one as you can get teams organized and all of that, and not have other people coming through and kind of, making it difficult. So anyway, that's why we're not going to do searches independently like that. There's
a lot of other reasons too, though. We all have full-time jobs.
Yeah.
And we have 3 children.
Sure.
One with severe special needs.
Yeah.
And it's difficult for us to do anything without planning. It can't be last minute. We have to really make time to do things like that. And we do, we don't stream it, but we do searches on our own. Yeah. Just kind of, we're not going on asking to go on other people's properties and things, but we are keeping our eyes open and going places, but we don't stream it because, for a lot of reasons.
Right. We wouldn't do that regardless, because the idea of rounding a corner and coming,
Seth is here.
No way would I do stream a search. We just wouldn't do that if we were.
And if we found evidence and it was a live stream, we would want to do it justice and make sure that we contacted the police and it was handled in an appropriate manner, and not just on a live stream that we come across something that could be of evidentiary significance.
Right.
Yeah, because you could actually.
Nothing against people that do that. It's just not for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We're just hoping that what we are doing is just kind of keeping his name out there, brainstorming, theorizing, doing things like we've been doing, where we try to kind of separate rumor from facts and things of that nature,
and stay out of the drama,
and hopefully stay out of the
We
drama.
Try.
I know our group here, they appreciate that. I think that's part of why they've found a home with us, is we're going to try not to do that. Does that kind of answer that question about the searching? Because we did get that comment.
Like I said, we get the comment a lot, and like I said, it's nothing against anybody that does the searching like that. It's just that we're not able to, especially at night. We're not able to, because our kids need us here. So
yeah,
we're lucky that they're quiet right now, surprisingly. So.
And Kiwi Gal from New Zealand, thanks for joining us tonight.
Okay. And they're talking about Mary's Magical Place.
Right.
That actually, And yeah, that was Seth had said that was Sebastian's favorite place.
Yes.
I believe it was Seth that said
Yeah, I don't
that.
think we've ever been over there. Or I haven't ever been over there.
Well, I mean, we drive by it constantly, but
Celestial Sky says you have some good hair.
well,
it's really
thank you.
frizzy tonight, but thank you.
She has tons.
And then you want to read Hilda's comment?
Hilda says, why doesn't the police question Katie again and her husband to see if anything has changed? What do y'all think this is?
Hilda from Texas.
McAllen.
Well,
Oh,
we
sorry.
don't know how many times they've questioned them. They're not going to tell us.
He may know. I don't know.
They're probably not going to tell us. You know, they're not going to tell us how many, if they've come back in or not. The last we've heard is they've been cooperative. I'm sure they've been questioned multiple times. Probably less nowadays. I would think, right?
I would think less as time goes on, but possibly periodically. I think the police are just holding things close to their vest because, as you know, we've not had any press conferences and no new information that's been released to the public.
Yeah. Serenity says they need to talk to them separately. Yeah.
And that could have been done. We don't know that hasn't been done.
Yeah. That's why if there are, you know, I would love to see interrogation room video. If there's a piece of evidence I can see, that's what I would love to see. The original first few interviews, I think would be very revealing and telling. Do you have?
Oh, it was just something I was looking up. Some people had been saying that the Mary's Magical Place was in Drakes Creek Park, and it's actually not. I was thinking about that.
It's kind of nearby.
It's nearby, but it's not Drakes Creek. I just
kind of north of, I think, right?
Well, it's just right by the interstate.
Yeah.
So, the Taylor Swift Park, though, is in Drakes Creek.
Pam Omaha or Pam Omsha thinks that Chris is going to take off. Like make a run for it. I mean, I don't know.
We don't know.
I mean,
yeah, Olivia says eerily quiet.
It is really quiet. This has probably been the quietest it has been in a while.
Quite some time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's why Seth doing the videos is going to be great.
It's keeping his name out there.
Yeah. He'll be putting his name out there. And then of course, all of the folks like us that cover this case, it'll give us a new reason to talk about the case again.
Right.
Because so it all kind of feeds itself and helps keep the case active, you know. So I'm looking forward to it. I look forward to more stories and pictures and any insight we could get about Sebastian and his habits and everything would be great.
I just love Tit for Tat.
Great recap.
There's a little recaps for us.
Juvenile charged in connection to social media posts regarding Tiffany Bostic. Seth Rogers will have a live with Joseph Petito Thursday.
Now Sebastian Rogers.
Yeah, so let's go to this a little bit. So Seth is doing a live on Thursday. He had one a couple of weeks ago that was very good. Kind of showed a lot of pictures and that type of thing of Sebastian when he was much younger. Told some background stories, and this week he's doing something a little different. He's doing more like a collaboration with another father who has been in a tragic situation, different from Seth's, but so it'll be interesting to hear. Kind of, I'm not sure exactly if it's an interview or a conversation or what the format's going to be. It's such a you'll have two people that have been in these very unique, tragic kind of situations, dealing with things that only a handful of people in the country have ever had to deal with. These super high profile missing persons kind of cases. So I maybe Mr. Petito will have some encouragement, words of wisdom, some advice perhaps, and kind of how to navigate through this.
Mhm.
I know that they have a foundation that helps with the search for missing persons.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's kind of why this video is happening. That's sort of my guess, is that maybe they're going to work together, maybe with that foundation. That's my hope, that that's part of it.
Yes.
That maybe the foundation is going to assist some way with the search for Sebastian. Just wanted to kind of, so we thought we might talk a little bit at first about the Gabby Petito story. Just in case anyone's not quite familiar, so you can kind of get a little background, a little background on is it Joseph? Is that the dad's name? Joseph Petito? Am I getting that right? Yeah. So Joseph Petito and the situation he had. Auntie, do you want to do this, or do you want me to do
You
this?
can. I'll chime in, but you can kind of
Okay.
give the basics. And it was a case that I followed on television. It was really big. It was actually kind of during COVID, and so it was just a very intriguing case, and it was really played out big in the news. I heard about it every evening. So it was a little bit wider scale national case that was very prevalent in the media at the time.
Yeah, so I know a lot of you are going to know the story, but maybe not. I mean, I know a lot of folks on this channel really are interested in not really just the overall topic of true crime, but specifically are here because of Sebastian Rogers. So just to kind of give you a little backdrop, what had happened was this young lady named Gabby Petito had a fiance named Brian Landry.
I think
I
that's
heard it
laundry.
pronounced.
I don't know if is it laundry.
I heard a podcast today that
Laundry. Okay.
pronounced it like laundry, like
the laundry.
yeah.
Okay.
And so they were engaged. They had been living with his family in Florida. They had decided essentially to go across the country in a van that had been turned into a camper. They're really very young, like 22 years old, and they had been dating for a couple of years. And they had saved up their money. They were going to go and kind of vlog the whole experience. She was going to write about it. She was putting Instagram posts, and it was going to be kind of like this kind of naturey adventure kind of experience. And they did. They put all kinds of videos and pictures out of their experience. So of course they had their own following from that, and so lots of people were following them on their travels. So then at some point they are in Wyoming. And a few odd things happen before they get there in Utah. They're pulled over by police. Looks like there might be some kind of domestic violence type of situation. The police don't end up doing really anything about it significantly. They do separate them for the night. He spends the night in a motel. She sleeps in the camper. And so looking back, some folks thought, well, maybe if there had been more stronger law enforcement at that moment, maybe what happens later wouldn't have happened. But then, she had stayed pretty well in touch with her family. And this is in August of 2021. The last Instagram post she put up was on August 25th. And then sometime around that period is when people started losing touch with her, around the 27th or so. Her family wasn't hearing from her. She wasn't texting or checking in. And then in early September, Laundry, I know I want to say Landry also, Brian Laundry makes it back to Florida without Gabby. And there's really not any explanation. When the family starts to worry, they got a couple of weird texts that didn't sound like her. They hadn't heard from her in a week or so. And when they reached out to Brian and the family, they shut them out and wouldn't answer any questions. And so they end up filing a missing person report on September 11th, and it became a huge national story from then on out. For really a variety of reasons, because of the following they had on social media, because of the bizarre actions of the parents. They lawyered up right away. And so then let me make sure I get this date right.
I know there was some withdrawals from her debit card as well for like $1,000, and that concerned the parents as well. I know that was an issue.
Also,
Yes.
Gabby was asking why we're talking. I'm not Gabby. I Am Bear is asking why we're talking, or I Am Two Bear is asking why we're talking about this, and it's because Seth will be interviewing Gabby's father on his show on Thursday, and we were just kind of giving everybody a rundown because I had heard the name, I did not know a lot about the case, and so we thought it would be nice to just give everybody a quick rundown before the interview on Thursday.
Yeah. So that's basically what we're doing. So we're not going to be spending a whole lot of time on this story, but just kind of want to give people a backdrop for the interview coming up Thursday night, essentially. And so then I think it's the 14th. Yeah, September 14th. Then Brian disappears. His parents reported missing 3 days later. They end up getting a tip due to social media. All the information that was out there, all these different, TikToks and videos and YouTube and everything were out there. And a couple had seen Brian on the side of the road acting suspicious with the van, and they had remembered it. And when they saw the social media about this story, and they thought, maybe that was the guy that we saw that night, because it had stuck out in their minds. And they had been driving and had their GoPro on, and had thought, go back and look through their video, and they were like, I really hope this is still there. And so when they went back and looked through the footage, they were able to find the vehicle in that video. That ended up being the tip that led to them being able to eventually discover Gabby's remains on September 19th. So at this point, now they're really looking for Brian Laundrie, who was missing for another month. On October 20th, they eventually found his remains, and he had taken his own life with a gunshot to the head.
And one thing that was really unusual too was I think he disappeared on September 13th, but the parents waited 4 days before they reported him missing.
Yes.
It was almost like they were complicit in what was going on, or at least obstructing the investigation and what was going on with their son. So I thought that was very interesting, but it was several days after he left before they even reported him missing.
Yeah, it looks like, looking back and just everything you kind of read, that there's a lot of indicators to make you believe that he had told his parents what had happened, and that they were doing everything they could to kind of protect him that way. So that's in his, they found a notebook also nearby that was released several months later, but in it he did confess to taking Gabby's life. But he did kind of make excuses. He said something along the lines of she had been injured and he did it to put her out of her misery. And looking back, it probably wasn't the right thing to do. But she, her cause of death ended up being strangulation and blunt force trauma to the head. So, even taking his own life couldn't, like the narcissism, the self-image kind of stuff took over, and he couldn't quite tell the truth.
Body, September 19th was when her body was found in the Bridger Teton National Forest. I think some hikers found her. Some people that were, hiking. And so, she was recovered, and they were able to determine her cause of death.
Okay. So, so that's kind of, this. I mean, there's actually a lot to that story.
Yes.
The parents of Gabby, there were some various lawsuits with police departments and Brian's parents and things of that nature. So, so there was a lot of kind of loose ends to that story. But one, sure.
Did you mention that because of the search, they found 5 additional people?
No.
That was interesting to me.
That was a very during the investigation. Let's see. I read that somewhere that they found 5 additional bodies during the search for her body. Other people that had, I guess, had gone missing. But it was very interesting. I don't see it right this minute.
We just were discussing it earlier.
Yes, we were talking about it earlier. And they actually did a movie Thora Birch. I don't know if you know who she is. She's an actress.
She was in American Beauty.
And, yes, and she also was in The Walking Dead. She was also in The Walking Dead.
You would know.
I would know. And she helped direct a Lifetime movie about Gabby and what happened. It was from the Ripped from the Headlines series, and it was really interesting.
Did you watch it?
Yes, I actually saw that.
Good.
I liked it, but I had followed the story, so it was very soon after all that happened. I think the turnaround on
okay.
it was like a year because it was like October of 22, and this all happened in 21. So I thought it was really a quick turnaround and a good movie.
Well, yeah.
And I wanted to. Linda has joined us late, and a few things Linda needs to know. One is that Seth is doing a live stream on his channel on Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I believe the link is somewhere in the chat. Let's see.
I think Olivia posted it earlier, and Tit for Tats asked her to repost it.
Yes. And also we have been working on a gnat problem. So if you see us waving things in front of our faces or blowing really hard.
We do have a couple of traps out, but they're, it takes a little time.
It is working.
It does take a little time.
But for whatever reason, they just decided to come in here with us.
They're fleeing.
I feel like
traps.
Pigpen from the Peanuts, I know. It's got that little swirl of.
Man. Once they get going, it's hard to get rid of these things.
Yeah. So we brought in a watermelon, and it's been a disaster ever since. So anyway.
This is a highlight Carla here.
All right. Hi, Carla. Welcome.
I know I'm not from there. I'm in the UK, but I wish I could help all these cases and look for Sebastian. I have 8 kids myself, and one has the same condition as him and ADHD. Can't imagine anything happening. Yeah. And that's why we were drawn to the case too. We have a child with autism also. And I actually, a lot of the folks that are here tonight that are in our chat, they similar. And I think that's what drew a lot of us in, and it caught our attention because it's our fear, right? It's our fear that our special needs kid, might get lost or wander, not realize they're even lost, and something terrible happen. And these stories, sometimes they're great, and turn out wonderful. Sometimes they're horrifically tragic. I saw a 50-year-old today, and he's got his stuffed animal bunny that was found, and they found him safe. And so, and then there's, sometimes it doesn't work out, and it's the worst case scenario. But whenever I see these missing special needs people, it just makes your stomach drop. And
it does.
And it was close to where we live, and so it immediately caught our attention, and we've been following this case ever since.
Well, so there might be new people here. Did you tell our background?
No. So so we can do that. And
real quick. Just a quick.
So we like I said, we do have a special needs child. That was why we got drawn into the case in the first place. We were essentially having these conversations about all of the. If you've been following this story, there's all kinds of bizarre facts and contradictions and things that just don't make sense with this puzzle. And so we found ourselves constantly on the back porch or driving around, having these conversations, talking about what we thought and different theories and ideas we had. And we would sometimes see things out there that just were factually inaccurate, that we knew weren't true just because we were local. And we're kind of, and so we thought, well, maybe we would just start our own channel and start having some of these conversations and have a place to theorize and talk about things in a way that we weren't seeing out there. So that was that was really the idea. And now we've had a great reception. We've got made some great friends through this community.
Yes.
Found a lot of folks that are as dedicated to Sebastian and some of these other cases as we are. And so we'll, although we're going to continue to talk about other cases like the Trinity case and some others, Sebastian will always be kind of like our North Star. That will always be the case that we will follow until he is found or justice is served.
Yes.
The one way or the other, whichever way that goes, we'll we can't get away from it. I don't think we can if we wanted to.
No, I think it's it's consumed our thoughts since it started. In fact, our
I knew
young,
what you were going to say.
yeah, our youngest had a birthday. Little E had a birthday on Saturday, and the one wish that Little E had was that we did not talk true crime at all.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well,
yeah.
we'll do that.
Yeah. So we did a good job. Now there were some politics that I had to
Yeah.
pull Mr.
And
E back on.
Attend
we
to.
did
Yeah.
talk about politics a little. And so there was a little mini debate. Well, we're talking about politics. Is that kind of crime?
Yeah.
True crime? And it is very close, right? True crime and politics are, they're not that far removed.
Right.
So there was a little, but we tried to keep our word on that. I think we did. I don't think we talked about any of this.
We did a pretty good job. K-Mac says, Olivia, I found out today I get to work with a child with autism and bring STEM science in his life this year. I get to work with his teacher. We are both excited talking about his opportunities. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, we discussed that. We got to meet K-Mac for some coffee, and we had some nice coffee talk, and we discussed a lot of that stuff. So congratulations, K-Mac. I'm doing better. I'm not calling you by your real name. So, and then
yeah. Right. Well,
Seek the Missing had a question if there's anything new.
Not really, other than the upcoming video live stream that Seth is going to do.
Right.
So every time Seth talks, we learn something else, so it's always, I always love when the parents talk at all.
Well, we got last time a nice insight into his life and what he was like as a child. And I think that was really helpful to bring that to the public view. And hopefully we'll get to continue to see things like that with Seth.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the more we understand Sebastian and Seth and everybody, the easier, maybe more close to the truth we can get to how things might have happened. But
no, I think it's a wonderful thing he's doing. I know that there are people giving him a hard time about it, but they don't have any right to give him a hard time about it.
Of course not.
He has every right to do this. And if it brings awareness and helps him get closer to finding his son, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Because we're not going to hear it on the news every day.
You're not. You're not.
He's not the latest news story.
Well, that's why.
They get dropped so quickly. They're in and out of the news. And once they kind of become on the back burner, you don't hear anything. And this is his way to get the word out.
Right. And I think that's part of the reason we went to YouTube initially for more information about this, because the news just did not cover it to suit our satisfaction. We wanted more information, just like you guys do.
They move on, there's other things, and they move on. Nick Barris does a little, but
here and there,
it's not a lot.
Yeah.
So fortunately YouTube can kind of pick up the slack there on this, because we all can. And fortunately, there are several channels that are keeping him forefront. I wanted to mention that some things that I was thinking about just looking at this Gabby Petito story that made me think of the Sebastian Rogers, because I compare everything to the Sebastian Rogers case, right? Well, what broke that case open was social media.
Oh, yes.
So and the FBI confirmed that. They said it was that tip that was because of that lady had been paying attention to social media with Gabby Petito that made her go back and look at her GoPro. Mm-hmm. And so there's a couple of things about that to me. One is just that why the social media gets kind of vilified at times when it's a help. As long as people are keeping him out there and not, not creating fake rumors and that kind of thing. But as long as people are still trying to talk about the case and keep his picture out there and keep people talking about him, then you never know. There could be like that lady that happened to be driving by his car and had a GoPro running, broke the case open. And this is what I have thought about from the beginning was why that neighborhood at times has had no signage, no posters and things, right? It was frustrating because you don't know that somebody that you don't know what they might have seen. A delivery driver that doesn't come through there regularly might have driven past something and seen something, an altercation or a broken down car, or those things happen. and maybe remember something. So that was one thing it made me think about. Another was the GoPro itself. So like if we think she knew what van to look for, right? Like so they described the van, so she knew what she was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
If law enforcement knows that mystery car that was at the end of the neighborhood
Mm-hmm.
that they claim was like a garbage truck or whatever
Mhm.
whatever story they've gone with. If they know the make and model of that car, which they probably do, because the FBI can kind of do stuff that the normal Joe cannot do, they probably know what kind of car that is. What if they had come out within 2, 3, or 4 days of Sebastian going missing, saying, "Hey, we're looking for this.
Mhm.
Has anybody seen this car driving at night? Go back, check your dash cams, check this and that. Check everything. Do you recall seeing a car with this color, this make, this model?" You don't know. Somebody might have had footage if we knew what that vehicle was, but that's a piece of information they've decided not to share with the public that they think is critical to the investigation. But that decision, I don't know. I mean, I know I'm second guessing them a little, but maybe that's the wrong decision. Maybe it would have been better for them to tell us and put that out there early on. Because who knows, somebody might have evidence of that vehicle somewhere. It'd be gone by now. It'd be way gone
Yes.
at this
Right.
point, I think. But anyway, that was something that I had thought from that situation. It was a
The social
different,
media standpoint. Yeah.
yeah. And then just the footage that someone had in their car, and those things don't last forever. You got to move fast.
So it's important.
Sure.
No, you're up. No, I was just looking through some stuff.
Yeah.
Mm,
Hello.
kind of an interesting question.
Hilda says, "I wish that Katie would have taken out the trash instead of having her son do it in the dark." What do you think?
I'm not sure what I think about that. I mean,
I think it was his regular chore.
yeah, I think he was doing his chores.
So it wasn't abnormal for him to do it.
Mhm.
And I think she verified he came back in after doing that. So I don't think that anything happened while he was taking out the trash.
Right.
Because she heard him come back in and knew that he came back in. That was he was just doing his nighttime chore.
Yeah.
From what we understand.
Yeah. That it was a regular thing for him.
Oh, Serenity's got it good.
Serenity 72 says, "I honestly think Ellie has not came out with that because I feel they already know, just maybe missing one final piece because they are not asking from public's help."
I think you are.
That's a good point.
You are right on the right track.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think you're so too.
Yeah.
I just wonder though, what would it have? I mean, maybe they, I mean, obviously they know way more than we know. Maybe there is a great reason for them to hold that information back. But if they're not able to solve the case, I'm going to wonder if that was the right decision. But
Right.
I'm still optimistic that they have a lot.
And then Karen says, might sound crazy, but I'm willing to play the crazy senior card and look in places, private property, etc.
I'm not.
No, because people have guns and, people are pretty serious about their property in this part of the world.
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, farmland, you don't want to be doing that. No,
they're go on
especially if it's during hunting season. You could get shot by someone out hunting,
right.
Thinking you're a deer or something else.
Right.
So I mean, there's a lot of
dangers in doing that, and it also, like he was saying, like Mr. E was saying, is that it could prevent Seth's team from or I wouldn't say law enforcement, it'd be different, but Seth's team from getting to search certain places because it's already been searched by somebody else.
And I'm sure they follow the proper protocols, ask permission if they are searching private areas. I mean, you just ask permission and let the people know,
right,
and seek that permission before you do anything. Otherwise, law enforcement, they have to get search warrants to do anything like that. So, as a private citizen, you can't just go out searching around.
So
Yeah.
Tit for Tat says, if it's relevant, I agree. They made the right choice. If they aren't, why not ask for the public's help? And then Marilyn says, but Ellie did at the beginning. It was weird. They wanted the public's help, but they told us they didn't want us to search at the beginning, that you had to, that they wanted the crime, or the not crime scene. I don't know what you'd call it, at the area to stay intact.
They wanted to maintain the integrity of the area
of the investigation. Because there were people that got in trouble for searching without permission on people's property. I mean, it was a mess at first. There was some crazy stuff going on. People inserting themselves right off the bat into the case.
Yeah.
So, oh, the Real Me Too's here. I love the Real Me Too. The Real Me Too. I had emailed this to Sonia, but Sonia's ribbons, all but one. There's a ribbon still up at the Beach High School, and
we only found one.
And we only found one. There's not one in the neighborhood anymore.
So Olivia says, if Ellie thought he ran away or was abducted, then they would be having more press conferences asking for help. They don't need help identifying that car because they know who it belongs to.
Ooh, Olivia.
That's very logical.
That is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that makes
I'm sorry. Anna's comment was cute.
I guess I was thinking more like, where did it go? Where did the vehicle go? Did they know? I wonder if they know the path. That's what I wonder.
I think, Garrett, down here in the South, you can't really do that unless you want to get yourself killed.
Yeah.
I mean, there would be people that would be glad to have an excuse to use the gun they own,
right.
There are people that would. So that's, when we did the path going back behind, like circling back around their neighborhood the other day, I think our last video, right?
Happy Hollow Road.
Yeah, when we did Happy Hollow. Theoretically, there's lots of places where you could go hide a package or evidence or anything like that. But they're all farms, pretty much. They're all pretty big farms. And if you're from here and you're around it, you don't want to be pulling up in somebody's farm in the middle of the night. There's some shotguns that would be appearing pretty quickly, and they'd be glad to do it. So it would be a risky. That's why there weren't really a lot of great spots on that path to hide anything.
We actually
found a few.
We found something today that we were just like, okay, I don't know, why didn't we film that?
I thought
we were just driving. We're like, ooh.
Oh, you found a spot.
I think it was because we were on our way back.
Yeah.
And we had filmed on the way down, and we didn't film on the way back, but we saw an area that was an easy pull off.
Well, it was a pond and like an easy pull off. Because that was the one thing we were just talking about. We were saying there's nowhere to pull off unless you pull into someone's driveway.
Right.
But that was one of the things that we were discussing.
And then we came up on one area.
Yes.
But it was very close to the road front, so it wouldn't be very conspicuous.
No. But I mean,
it wouldn't be very, it would be easy to see, but at 2 or 3 or in the morning, the likelihood of people driving on that road for probably very slim. Right. But we did find a few places.
And
I think I know the pond you're talking about.
I did want to say to Anna, I think that's super cute. Anna left her DNA.
Thank you, Anna.
So
thank you so much.
The likes help a lot. We
do appreciate the likes. And if you guys wouldn't mind, just take a moment to give us a like. It does help us with the algorithm, and we appreciate it.
Sorry, Alexa's
talking. I'm not sure why. So if you hear someone talking in the background, that's just Alexa. Okay, I guess we can get started. So Mr. E really hasn't seen this.
Yeah, this will be new for me because I wasn't with y'all today.
He was filming something else that we're going to show at a later date today, and Aunt E and I went and filmed the cemetery because I had seen somewhere that someone was saying that there was a cemetery in the Proudfoot neighborhood, and that wasn't true. So we wanted to drive over there and just see what was going on. So I'm going to add that to the stage. Okay, so this is coming from the Proudfoot neighborhood, I hope. Let's see.
It was a little bit of a rainy day today.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay, now we're coming from
Yes,
the Proudfoot
now
neighborhood.
we're
Sorry,
leaving- we're
because
leaving the
we had
neighborhood.
turned around. Okay, so now we're coming from the Proudfoot neighborhood, and this is the new neighborhood that's
Yeah,
being
on
built
your-
with the new
on
construction.
your left there. You can see the new one. Oh, and we do have some footage in that neighbor, and then in the Proudfoot neighborhood, the construction. It is a through road now. You can. There's nothing blocking the
No.
construction.
I can
side.
show that later if we
Yeah.
want, but oh my gosh, these gnats. Okay. So
Some
we're
funny
turning-
comments
Okay,
going
so
on.
this is a church here. This is gosh, I closed the name of it. It's Beach Presbyterian. And so that's there on the right. Sorry, there's a lot of dash.
It actually the side of it backs up to the new
Well, wait,
construction.
we'll see that in a minute. Spoiler alert.
Well, just so they can get an idea of where it's at. It's not. It's
Okay,
less than a quarter of a mile.
I'd say less than a quarter of a mile from the house.
Yeah, and I've never been back here, so I didn't realize actually how big this cemetery
It's
was.
much larger than we thought.
Yeah, we had no idea. Tit for tat, these two spoil my stuff all the time. I have all these reveals that they just blow for me. So
We should do a rehearsal.
no. That's the problem is we talk about this. I'm so much more articulate off camera than I am on camera. I get all jumbled.
And as we went back, it actually was a lot longer back than we thought it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a crazy amount of land.
It is.
Right. Well, it's what's weird is not only does it back up to the construction site, but it also connects to Beach High School.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the football field and all
yeah,
of
and this pond was kind of
huge pond right there.
huge pond. But that wasn't what bothered us so much. Yeah, the ride is a little bumpy, tit for tat.
So this would be an area that you would be out of view.
Yes.
For
you
sure.
You could go back here late at night, absolutely, and not be detected. We did look for cameras.
Yes, and we only saw one
that we know.
Yeah,
of. And we can show that I think as we end this drive.
Aunt E wouldn't keep going. We'll get to that part. I was not happy.
Well, there was a part that goes into a farm. They had been baling the big round bales of hay, and I was like, I don't think we should go any further because we weren't sure where the cemetery property ended.
See, there's Beach High School right there.
Yeah, you can see the football field.
You can't drive to it, but you could definitely walk to it.
Absolutely, you could walk.
And not be seen.
Well,
I mean, until you get to the school.
So this is the road that I was encouraging Aunt E to keep going down. And she's like, no, I'm going to not do that.
Right.
So at one point we back up.
Well, and as you can see, I'm not sure if you can capture it in the video, but as we get just a little bit further up, they're farming, baling hay. And I was like, well, we don't know where the cemetery ends and where the farm begins.
Are we on someone's property?
Yeah. So you can see the kind of the hay bales way back under the tree. So we weren't sure if we should be on this property because it didn't look like it led to any other part of the cemetery.
Oh, and this is what started to bother us. We started seeing the mounds of dirt. And several. And, logically, I would think the mounds of dirt are from the graves, that they're taking the topsoil to, dig the graves. And that's the leftover. But there were so many mounds of dirt that it started to bother us. And then K-Mac. I am not sure. See, I was doing so good.
I know you were doing great.
We don't know about if that pond was checked, but because it was a big size pond.
Yeah, but the dirt and the trees, it just bothered me.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It did. It kind of gave us a weird feeling, and the pond did too. Honestly, it was just. It was there, and it's odd.
Someone asked if that was the retaining pond. That's not the one that they're.
That's
No,
not the retention
no.
pond. No,
Yeah.
it's
But
not.
this is within a quarter mile of the house.
Yeah.
It is just down the street.
Yeah.
We're
It's not in their
we're
neighborhood.
not far
though.
from it, but
Yeah.
that's not the same
And as
one.
you can see in the video again, you can see Beach High School.
Yeah, that's the part that bothered me.
Is this still all church property, or are you
We don't know where it ended. As you can see up there a little further, there's still some more.
It's really strange the way they've done this.
I know it is, and it may be all belonging to this church, and it just hasn't been filled at this time.
It's all like spread around or something.
It is.
It was very strangely spread around.
Oh, Breezy.
Thank you so much.
Read that.
Breezy is crushing on the same and says this might help towards a guest card.
Oh, Breezy.
Thank you.
You're so sweet. I was going to tell you earlier, you are beautiful. You're stunning. So, and I'm not just saying that because you gave me $19.99. I'm just saying it because you are. I meant to say it earlier.
And Garrett asked, "This is a fourth of a mile from their house?" Yes.
Oh, I'd say
Actually,
I would say
less.
less. I would say less.
We
By
were kind of
foot, yeah.
counting on foot. I would say it would take you no more than 15 minutes to walk there.
Yeah.
About 15.
Oh gosh, I wouldn't even think it would take that long.
Well, from where their house is
No,
out to
I'd say
maybe 10 then. But
I don't know. You're awesome. Thank you, Breezy.
It might be a 10-minute walk.
Yeah, K-Mac is asking if that pond was searched. I don't know. I would hope so. I mean, certainly within that 5-mile radius, but there's actually, there are a lot of ponds in that 5-mile radius.
Yeah, this would be within the 5-mile radius for sure. But but we don't know how extensively this was covered, and maybe Seth could let us know if he knows for sure if this area was searched. But it goes way back, much farther than we anticipated it.
And Rachel's wanted to know if we know if the dad has been pulled on her work van. We don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, so there's more mounds, you guys. I was kind of just trying to look at the tree line.
Just surroundings, and you can through the trees you can see a little bit of that construction.
Yeah, you can see the construction pretty clearly.
Yeah. Can we pause when we get to that? If you do you show
I think
way
this
through?
is around where Auntie was reading the tombstones, and I was doing the pond, but for some reason it's not showing the pond.
And, there it is. See, there's the pond again across. We were beside
I zoomed
it
too much. I guess.
We were beside it coming in, and you're kind of away from it going out.
But you would think that pond is deep compared to the retention ponds and stuff. That pond is deep.
Yes.
And you would think that they would, that would have been the one they drained.
Yeah.
They're asking again the name of the church.
The name of the church is Beach Presbyterian.
Yeah.
You can kind of see it through here, I think.
Yeah, Karen, I know what you're saying.
We don't know.
I know. There's just
K-Mac is asking what she's getting at is, Katie went to the school that morning, but was gone for a long time. And we don't know what she did in between or after she left the school.
And you can kind of see some more piles of dirt back there.
Yeah. And what I was saying about the Happy Hollow Road is that it is so rocky that it would be difficult to dig over there. But this land seems to be pretty easily dug, I guess. So sorry about all the tree stuff. I don't know what I was doing.
But just on the other side, you can see that's where the construction for the new subdivision that is beside theirs.
Carlos, this makes me jump when I watch drivers there as we drive on the other side. It always makes me jump a little.
You can kind of see it a little bit.
Let's see. All right.
I bet it would. Probably would be too.
All right, hold on. Now through the trees here, there's the construction site.
You can kind of see it.
You can kind of see it there. So it's through the trees, but that is the construction site to the neighborhood.
It backs right up to it. I mean, it's on one side.
It does. And this is not, there's fencing around it.
Yeah.
Except not here.
Yeah, you could walk through there.
You could.
And wouldn't be seen. I mean, if you went by
Well,
foot, you wouldn't be seen.
Again, though, I would like to point out you would be seen in the neighborhood because there's cameras upon cameras upon cameras upon cameras because they would have to cut through the neighborhoods.
Well, Sebastian's neighborhood.
Right.
But if you went through the construction part, like up at the top of the hill where it's just all dirt,
Oh, gotcha.
you could cut through that and get over here without being seen
Well, that's a good point.
or caught on camera at least.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Of course, I mean, it'd be dark. There's no lights. It'd be real dark walking through this, but of course.
HM Hands is asking if this area has been searched. I'm pretty sure this area was searched at the beginning, but it was just we have driven by it about 1,000 times, and we were just talking the other day, and it's actually before other creators had started talking about it, but we were just kind of saying, one thing that Chris had said at the beginning of all this to Seth was, I'm not going to get the quote right, so you guys can, correct me, but it's something to the extent of, if you want to find your son, you need to go to church. So I just, we are big fans of the Deception Detective, so we look for slippage and weird comments like that. So I kind of just said the other day, I said, why don't we go over there? Is there a church over there? And like I said, we've driven over there a million times, just kind of looking and searching ourselves. So it's just interesting.
And K-Mac asked about a camera. Well, I think she gets that on the way out as we're driving out. She points out a camera.
Yeah. And the Real Me Too says that EquiSearch searched 43 water spots, and I'm sure they searched that. But I didn't. I know for a fact that they drained the retention pond, but I didn't know if they drained any other ponds. So,
and Miss Smith said, "Is it like family plots, or are there a lot of burials currently there?" There are lots.
There are lots. There were several. How many fresh?
We saw several fresh graves, and there was actually a funeral going on right before there were people leaving from a burial.
Yes, and Miss only church members buried there. I don't think so. I think it's a cemetery where you can
buy plots.
Yeah.
It would be hard on. It wouldn't be an easy walk, but you could do it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Mary said, CP did say that to Seth, go to church and you will find him. That was a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
That was,
I think it's weird.
I just found that weird.
I think it's weird.
Oh, Seth says dogs. The dogs searched over there, Seth. Let's see. We just found that really odd.
Well, if you think the dogs were picking up on something in the construction area, and this is the direction.
Yes.
That you would be going.
Mm-hmm.
So, if there's a car involved and you lose the scent, or this was a meeting spot. I mean, you're kind of looking at places that are out of sight. That because the mystery of the whole case is the lack of things caught on camera.
And thanks, Deborah, for subbing up for it with us.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Deborah. I'm sorry. Mama Bear said, is the ground frozen that time of year? Make it too difficult to dig a grave.
It wasn't bitter cold at that time.
It wasn't like
unseasonably warm during that time.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people get that wrong.
This is one of those things.
It's one of those things, one of those sticking points for us.
Everybody tries to say that it was like super, super cold, but it wasn't.
I'm a porch sitter, so I know this stuff.
We had a really cold January and early February, like in the single digits and that kind of thing. And so it was actually feeling pretty nice compared to our winter up to that point.
They said a couple nights after he went missing, though, it was a little chilly. It was pretty chilly.
Yeah,
it was.
But that particular night wasn't just like...
I remember it.
Yeah.
Because that was one of my first thoughts is if he's out there, maybe he wouldn't be so cold. That was one of my first thoughts.
Right.
Seth said something about the dogs.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything else since then.
Yeah.
He might have been answering someone. I'm not sure.
You want to continue?
Yeah,
Well,
26
it was that was the low, but the high that day was in the 50s. That was the low. Yeah.
So, the thing.
Garrett says, what date was it? It was February 26th is the official date.
Yeah, the Sunday where he was last known to be seen was the 25th.
Yeah.
26 is that Monday where he's reported missing. But when you're used to being super cold for several weeks, like we had been that year, when it gets up into the 20s and 30s and 40s, it feels great.
Mm-hmm.
So when you've had several 0-degree days.
Seth, if you want, we could always invite you to come on to the panel. If you'd like to come up and talk, you're welcome to. Just let us know and I can send you a link. Wednesday after he went missing, it was 26 degrees. Yeah. It got colder. It for sure did. But yeah. And, you're welcome to come up if you want to come talk about your show on Thursday. We're happy to have you. If not, completely understand.
Yes, he said it was 20.
Yeah, anything we can do to announce searches that you want to do, anything like that, word you want to get out about something, feel free to pass that along to us, and we'd be happy to promote that information. Anything we can do, really.
Yeah.
We want this. We want to help if we can,
as much as we can.
We say prayers, but we would love to do more.
Yeah, let's all give Seth some prayers.
There's a lot of
There's
love
a lot
here
of
right
love
now.
for you here. So you're. I get it, Seth. I get it. I get it.
No thanks. See, I got you.
But you, anything that you want to promote, we're happy to help.
Hey, you got your own channel to do it.
Yeah.
You can. This is the beauty, actually, of social media too. For someone like Seth, you don't have to have the filters anymore.
Right.
The message he wants to deliver is his message.
Right.
And he doesn't have to worry about a reporter or a YouTuber distorting what he's trying to say.
Exactly.
He wants to clear something up. He can just get on his own channel and say, no,
it's a beautiful thing.
This is how it happened. And really, this is great about all media and everything. But so there's a lot of benefits to you doing your own thing.
And we support you. So
yes.
And anything we can do. If one of the mods would also put our email address there in the chat, that way Seth has our email if he'd like it. If he wants to use it, he can. And if he doesn't, that's okay too. No pressure. We're just like friends and family here. So,
yes.
And Seth says, okay, thank you for the offer. Yeah. Anything we can do to help.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see.
We're gonna go on down.
I think we want to show the cameras at the base too, right?
Okay, so
we're heading that way. We're heading that way now.
We don't even need to be on here. Let's make it big so everybody can see better.
Now you can see all that construction back in there a little bit, and this is a good spot. There were graves though that went all the way to where they've got the barrier for the construction.
Right, that's so weird.
And we thought that was a little odd too, just the way it was set up. You can see the gray wall there. It's just like a tarpish type of wall they've got, and then some of the houses that are completed are there in the front.
A couple of people have mentioned this about Sebastian taking the garbage out in the dark.
I don't think it's unusual for a 15-year-old.
Well,
I wouldn't think any.
Typically, Hendersonville's a safe place. I would have no qualms with our kids take the trash out in the dark.
Part of why it's so shocking, I think, to people, this story, because it
just doesn't happen.
It's the kind of place people feel pretty secure, and so it's rocked the community.
And then
have this happen.
Trinity thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I keep doing.
I know, because she reminds you of Tiffany.
She does, of the singer. You're right.
Back in the day, she kind of does.
Oh, she does kind of
have the hair color. And so we're kind of getting out of the end of the cemetery now, leaving that area. And there was like a part of the church there.
Yeah, so this is where we were looking for the cameras. because we always look for cameras wherever we are.
And then we did see one.
Okay, so
right-
there's one right there. I'll
Yeah.
pause it. Oops.
So if that camera,
There's a camera right there.
It doesn't look like it in that picture, but it's kind of blurry. But we did definitely see one there.
And we had to argue with Granny. She was telling us there was another one. We're like, no, Granny, there's not.
Yeah, there was one that kind of looked like some kind of thing sticking out from the building, but it wasn't.
is that the only camera we knew of that you guys saw?
That is the only one we saw.
We drove around the front as well, and we did not.
We
see
didn't
one.
really see anything else.
Was
Just
this
that one.
the only road going back to the cemetery?
Yes.
Okay, so
They have it kind of where you could go in on one side and come out another.
So it loops.
but
Yeah.
you'd have to go by this camera.
Yes.
Yes.
So if that camera is working, they caught anybody coming and going from that spot. I
Yes.
guess is if they were going by car.
Yeah, Karen. I wish we could get Granny to come on camera, but she will not. She
Sure.
won't even chat. So
One day.
no hope there. Let's see. So that was interesting.
If it works. Of course, there's
Oh,
sometimes
there
these
I
cameras
am.
aren't working.
Hello.
Holding up the.
Holding up the camera. Going over the bumps.
Yeah. Sorry. Bump, bump, bump.
And that's basically it.
It's blurry.
Does it look blurry too?
It is on
I don't
mine.
know. It looks okay over here.
It must just be mine.
We could be having some streaming issues if someone in the house is playing a video game.
And so we did go around the parking
We
lot
might-
in
yeah.
front of the church building
Yeah.
looking for cameras. We really didn't see anything there.
I agree with Mrs. Smith there. My 15-year-old's pretty forgetful. I have to remind him 10 times to take the trash to the street. Yeah.
Well, we feel that.
We
yes.
feel that. Yes.
Yes.
That happens to us.
See, yours
frequently.
is really good. Look at mine.
Okay. Does
That's
anybody
chocolate.
else have blurry screen?
It's
Aunt E has a really blurry.
it's super choppy.
It's
It is. I
choppy
don't
and
know
blurry. Ours is smooth.
Mhm.
Yeah. Looks
That's
good.
good. Okay.
It looks good on ours. I don't know. It could be because you're trying to stream us and we're trying to stream.
Sure.
Could it be that?
I don't know. Maybe.
And also, K-Mac, we did see your mannequin, and
Oh.
it looks like it's changed shirts. We weren't going the right direction to take the picture, but it has changed clothes.
So Marilyn is saying it's blurry, but the real Me Too says it's okay.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I don't know. Blurry. Yes, it's blurry on my screen.
Schiller.
Interesting.
Mama Bear said silver on
Maybe.
the scene minute in 3 hours.
Okay. You can get to Memphis in 3 hours. Sure can.
Going
Okay.
fast.
Well,
yeah.
how
So most
about-
people,
okay.
it's.
I'm sorry,
Tell
guys,
them.
that it's blurry. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know why.
No.
Middle-y will help us with that.
Yeah, Middle will have to help us. But sorry, it's choppy, guys. I'm not sure why. It looks beautiful on our screen.
I mean, it's okay. It just looks like an old. I mean, you can still see. It's
I
just
know,
not
but
as
it doesn't
good.
Look as good.
Yeah.
That makes me sad
Did
because
you see the Heather Ann comment?
would someone read that, please?
Did you see the live interview Duty Ron did with Texas EquiSearch? It shows the areas, the ponds, the dogs, the drones, etc. that were used. They said they were working with TBI. I did not.
I
I
didn't
don't
see
know.
that interview either.
Heather Ann, if you could email that to us, I would love to see it. Or tell me what channel it was. Oh, you said Duty Ron, right? So
Duty
write
Ron,
that down.
Duty Ron, DUTY.
You know, just when I think I've seen everything there is to see, I find out there's more.
I don't think I've heard that name before.
Yeah.
Marcia said she's just excited she got to go for a ride.
Aw. Well, is it? That's a question. Is it always choppy like that?
No, because I
that's
always
so
watch
sad.
both. I usually watch both.
Yours looks fine.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It must be the
Marsha's so
setting,
sweet.
right, or something.
Marsha's so sweet. We appreciate you, Marsha.
It is like a little road trip when we do
She
these.
said, Duty Ron was maybe late April,
Okay.
a while ago.
Okay, so Duty late April. Yeah, I would love to see that.
If anybody finds a link, please send it to us.
That's interesting. See, it's like we don't even know a quarter of the people that are, that do the true crime stuff. We know some.
Oh, and we try to keep up with Sebastian the most, of course, because that's been the case that was so near and dear to us, as far as wanting to take on that.
He's a retired detective. Awesome, Lucy.
Oh, okay.
How fun. Yeah, I definitely want to watch that.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
We were actually considering doing some, maybe Deception Detective or Peter Hyatt stuff, because we're very fascinated in the deception stuff and the language and the leakage and all the things.
Well, that's been the best evidence for this case for folks like us to look at, because because they have all talked so much. There's a lot of information to look at.
There's mixed feelings about old Duty Ron.
Oh, okay.
Please do not become like Duty Ron. I don't know what that means, but
I've never even heard of him, so I don't know. But we'll check. I'll check it out.
Is he the older guy?
I don't know, you all.
I've never
there
heard the
seems
name.
to be somebody popping up all the time.
There was one guy that was really going off about the YouTubers. I wonder if it was him.
No. That dude was the one that does like illegal raffles
want to talk about
and stuff. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll talk about YouTubers.
Oh, sorry.
Then we'll talk about YouTubers.
Sorry.
That's the only one I knew that was a man, that was an older guy.
No, you know what? I'm wrong about that.
He's retired NYPD. Oh, that ought to be an interesting one to follow. We'll have to check him out.
Yeah, that's cool. There's actually, we have friends that
He
are.
has
This-
no drama, and that's another reason we'd like him.
I have been just kind of going through all kinds of like posts and different things just to see if there was any kind of information out there at all. There's not really a lot that's happened since we've been on, but there was just this little tiny bit, and it's a piece of information.
Everybody loves you.
Mr. E.
Yeah,
Mr. E.
you never really get criticized, ever.
No, the guy called me a snooze fest or something once, right?
Oh yeah, you are. Yeah.
Yeah, so we all get it. Anybody's gonna get it. So there was this. There's a podcaster. Her name is Lauren Conlon.
I don't know anything about her. So
she was on Nancy Grace.
Yeah.
She was part of that panel.
Okay.
So this is just according to her, that she has a confirmed source that, and I guess the story had been out there, but she claims she has confirmed it, that that Chris and Sebastian were at a store, and at some point Sebastian was, I don't know, scared or something, and was hiding behind a cash register to get away from Chris. Not a huge story, but just another little tiny piece to the, the puzzle and the backdrop of what's going on. So
Grace.
Depending on how you feel about Lauren Conlon, and I don't know much about it other than her appearance on Nancy Grace.
Mystic Firefly said, yes, Lauren and her husband are great.
Well, awesome.
Yeah. Are we talking about Conlon?
Yeah, and I guess, and Garrett also says, I know Lauren.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's
if
awesome,
you
yeah.
feel like that they're good at their reporting, then
Well,
take that
also
for
on
whatever
Peter
it's worth.
Hyatt.
Yeah.
Well, great.
So anyway, that's just just something that was out there.
And some people have already heard that. Yes, I heard that he was hiding behind a cash register.
I heard that a while ago, but I didn't know anyone confirmed it.
That's the first I've ever heard anyone confirm it. So that's why I wanted to just kind of pass that little
Yeah.
bit along, because some people think that it's possible Sebastian ran away because of the home life, and other theories, but it plays in. So it's all part of the backdrop.
Information.
It is. It's not a huge thing, but it's just a thing.
Said that she covered the Grant Solomon case extensively.
Yeah, the Grant Solomon thing is really troubling. You remember that one?
I just from her,
Yeah.
just because I was reading about her post today, talking a little bit about it, but I was unfamiliar with it prior.
Okay. Well, did you want to talk about the updates on the Brandi? Did we want to jump over to that, or do you want to wait?
Do you want to do the?
I mean, I think we've kind of gone through our list, haven't we?
We have.
We've got a few things.
Do you want to do that video tonight?
Or do we
Is that
want to
what
do
you
our
wanna
songs?
I don't know. I just didn't know what.
Oh, we need to do the songs too. So,
Well,
maybe at
let's
the
just,
end.
Let's
or
have
now.
it. Let's have some discussion with chat for a little bit before we do
Okay.
anything else. Let's see.
Okay, I've got this other random thing I want to do anyway.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead. You go
So this
for it.
this is sort of not related. It's just a matter. I follow lots of weird people on X and stuff like that, but these kind of thinkers. And there's this guy, his name is Gurwinder, like Gurwinder, and it's all like kind of philosophical, critical thinking kind of stuff or whatever. And I was reading through one of his threads, and it's all really interesting stuff about like, anyway. But this one he talked about was called Okrent's Law, Okrent, and he was a New York Times editor. But the idea of the law is that if you're trying to seek truth, it is actually sometimes a mistake to treat two ideas as equal, because one of those ideas may not even be worth the merit. And by treating both of those ideas equally, you're actually doing truth a disservice.
Okay.
Right. So like if you had somebody arguing that 2 + 2 = 4, and another person says that, oh no, 2 + 2 = 6, you should not be treating both of those arguments equally, because one's ridiculous. And by giving one equal time to the other, you're almost validating the ridiculous idea, and more people might be more inclined to think there's actually something to it.
Oh.
So if you're seeking truth, treating something equally is not actually always a great idea. And what it made me,
makes sense.
right? So what it made me think of was Seth as a suspect when people try to bring this up. And sometimes we'll have people comment to us that we're biased or that we're not fair because we don't spend really any time talking about Seth as a suspect, right? Because it shouldn't be given equal time.
No.
Seth was not the last one to see Sebastian. Seth has the most solid alibi. So if we treated him the same as other suspects in the case, we're not actually seeking truth anymore. We're actually doing truth a disservice, because all of the evidence would make Seth as a suspect an extremely low possibility. It's always the person in the home is a higher suspect, the last person to see them, the first person to report them missing, in a home with CPS reports, in a home with a step parent. All of those factors do not point towards Seth as a suspect. So treating the Proudfoots and Seth equally in our analysis,
It's not.
According to Okrent's Law, or Okrent's Law, I don't know how you pronounce his name, is actually a mistake. So anyway, that's something I thought about.
Occam's razor.
Occam's razor. Occam's razor. You know Occam's razor. The simplest answer is usually the correct.
Yes.
That's a good one for this case too, because people will come up with these really convoluted theories.
Oh, you mean like Sebastian's AI?
Yeah.
Or just,
or he's not real. He's not real.
You'll see him mostly on the different Facebook groups where people will write out these extremely complicated theories, and the Occam's razor would be that, well, that's really not likely. The most likely is something more simple, that either he ran away or was abducted, or something like that. It's not going to be a convoluted conspiracy involving 20 people, and that it's going to be something more simple is where the truth would lie.
S. Schiller said, did you see Silver on the scene say Kathy Bowersox was taken to Worships by Katie in the morning? I was not sure if anyone else had heard that before. That was the first I heard of it this weekend. Well, we already did that route, a month ago? The Worships route?
Kathy Bowersox was taken.
Yeah, we're not going to jump that far.
I don't understand the sentence. Can you
Did you see that creator say Kathy Bowersox was taken to Worships by Katie in the morning? I was not sure if anyone else had heard that before. That was the first I heard of it. Now, we about a month ago did a video called Worships Market. I think it was about a month ago, right? And we showed the route that Katie would have taken from their home to Beach High School, and how it does come out at Worships Market. So maybe he was redoing that route. I'm not sure. But I've not heard. We wouldn't jump to those kinds of conclusions at all.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, I've never heard.
I've never heard that. No. So I don't know.
The only speculation we've heard is that she possibly was there early in the morning on her own,
and that was by Seth's own PIs at the beginning.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
And yes, Marsha, I also love the interview room. It's pretty good. Let's see. And Tit for Tat says,
That's a good point.
I've been on both sides of the fence with this case. If we let all the rumors and drama fall away, it just circles back to one person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you presented all of this for the first time to anyone that doesn't know anything about it, that's where they would look first too.
right.
I think sometimes we're all in this for so long that you almost start to see things that aren't there,
Mhm.
and you have to kind of step back and remind yourself, okay, there's really only Katie has the answers, whatever those answers are.
Right. And HM Hand says, taking the truth behind, would you care to speak on is that somebody you're talking to in chat? I thought you were asking us what we believe logically happened.
Oh, taking truth behind, would you care to speak on what you believe logically happened? Who is
And your
taking
options?
truth
I don't know if I missed
behind?
that. I don't know who that is.
I
I don't know. Maybe
I'm
are
looking
you
back.
talking to us, HM Hands? KMAC says that's a theory out there.
The fact that she was at Worsham's, we have heard that theory.
Yeah,
that
we've
she
talked
was
about
there.
that.
Yeah, that's
She said she's asking us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He or she.
Yeah, the rumor we'd heard, not rumor, I guess. I mean, it's from
Seth,
Chloe.
Yeah.
It's from Chloe. It's the
Previous
only
PIs.
And we still don't have another source other than Chloe, I don't think, on this. But I think Chloe claims she had multiple sources that placed Kathy Bowersox in that parking lot sometime around 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard other people say 6 people have seen her, but I don't know where that number 6 comes from.
Mm-hmm.
I can't find that source. So I don't know what the actual number is, but if depending on how you feel about Chloe, that her claim is multiple.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that number means, but maybe in another interview she later clarified and said 6, but I haven't heard that interview, so I don't know where that number came from. As far as theories, I think mine have changed. It changed so much. I don't know. So last night, Auntie and I were having a pretty long conversation about this case because we just do, and we were just talking about how the thing with this whole deal is there is something we're all missing to this.
We feel like there's one thing that we're missing.
There's something like a puzzle piece that we don't quite understand.
I'm going to use the restroom while you talk about your theory. Sorry.
Like it feels like, because nothing, I'm sure you all feel this way. Every time you come up with a theory on this case, there's something that contradicts it and isn't right. That doesn't, and the truth should not have any contradictions, right? So that means that there's something about our understanding of the case that's just wrong.
I kind of described it as we had all the outside of the puzzle,
mm-hmm.
and all the pieces have formed the picture, but you still got this big hole in the middle, this one thing that you can't find that's going to pull the rest of the puzzle together. And I kind of feel like we've just got one thing, and if we could get that one thing, whatever it is, it would help the rest of the theory or what happened fall into place.
Yeah, because I can't think of a theory that doesn't have a flaw.
And K-Mac says, I think it's important to stick to the absolute basic facts. And that's what we've tried to do, is not go on any hearsay or rumors, but go with the facts that we know and the things that we've seen. And the flashlight video that they first said was not flashlights. I mean, we've kind of come to the conclusion that something was moving with lights in that area. And it's very easy, if you watch it over and over again, to kind of start to form a picture that someone with flashlights was walking there. So that's kind of what's helped us formulate what we think could have possibly happened.
Yeah. I that's what I believe at this point, but I don't know. My theories have been changing a little bit over the last couple of weeks. I don't know if I have a solid, great feeling about exactly what happened anymore.
Yeah, over the weeks we've changed, from possibly just one person being responsible to 2, possibly 3, helping with the whole scenario of what happened. It's changed over time.
I mean, I don't, I know what I don't believe, things I don't believe
Right.
happened, but exactly narrowing it down, it's hard to find. Like, I think with whatever's in those CPS reports will be a big critical piece. I think if we knew what was happening there,
I think that would give us some insight.
I think that would probably make things a lot clearer.
Right.
And of course, a lot of the stuff that law enforcement has, that we don't have access to.
And Miss Smith said definitely not a trash truck. No, we don't.
No.
We almost can 100% rule out that was not a trash truck, just from neighbors saying that's not when the trash truck comes through our neighborhood. Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's just not a trash truck. It was in the wrong spot and everything. And that's such a actually that makes you think that gives you more confidence that that car was there for bad purposes, because that cover story was so ridiculous.
Right.
That's not a trash truck. That's just not what that was. It was in the wrong spot. Couldn't the movement wasn't right. That's not what that was.
Brenda's asked, what was the date on the flashlight video? I honestly don't have a date. We would have to go back through our videos and look.
I don't know. Been a little while since I've looked at that video like that.
And maybe Mrs. E could pull that up or check on it for us, and when she gets back. And tip for tat says to Mystic.
I think rumors have made it so hard to figure out what happened to Sebastian. We try to separate fact from fiction in hopes that it will bring him home. Yeah, and it's tough to do. It's really hard to do.
It is hard to do.
Lately, I've been worried about the neighbor Bobby. I hope she's okay. She gave us a lot of great information to clear a lot of stuff up.
Yes.
I think it was very brave of her.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I think that was, that of any, I don't doubt her intentions at all.
No.
Like she seemed like a very credible source to me.
I think her frustration in coming forward was the lack of response when they did go to LE with information that they felt like was very valid.
Yeah.
And I think that's why she kind of turned to people to get the story out.
Yeah.
Is that what you thought?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wish, I know, I don't think she's going to talk again, but I'm glad she did while she did. It was very, I mean, that it really, that was, we got a lot of information from that interview.
We did. We got a lot of insight.
What did you want me to pull up?
If someone was asking what the date on the flashlight video was.
Oh, let me check my timeline. And
Mrs. Smith said, and where the lights were, trash trucks don't go in the grass between houses. Right. And where we could figure out where those lights were coming from, that's not an area where a trash truck would be anyway. You're right.
Right. Let's see. Well, yeah, you'll have to look at Aunt E's stuff.
Yeah, I am.
Let's see. Flashlight video was originally from Nick Barris on March 14th.
March 14th on Nick Barris post. Yeah. Donna says she started to say in one of her interviews that she ran back to the house and corrected and said, "Oh, I drove back to the house." I remember that interview and her saying those exact words. She said, "I think that was her running back to the house with the flashlight."
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't remember that.
It was. She kind of corrected herself. It was one of the interviews when she's describing being out and driving back.
If that flashlight thing is what we think it is, that's definitely Katie going back.
Yes.
I think.
If that's what we think it is.
Yeah. If that ends up being, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Are we reading the same one?
What? No, I don't
Marilyn, think the neighborhood is afraid of CP and family.
I was getting ready to click on that.
I would think so. Yeah, yes. I think so.
Oh, that was Tip for Tat. Yes, Aunt E. Chronicles of Olivia. That was the interview that she did that had that in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one I haven't watched as many times as I have the others for some reason.
Aunt E, we might want to check on Grand E because I accidentally was going into the bathroom and she was in there. So
is she okay?
She said she was, but you know how she is.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
I will check on her.
Susan Smith 100%. Yeah. Whoops. That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, I think Nick Barris leaked that video and Ellie didn't want it out there. And the trash truck excuse is Ellie trying to cover it up.
Very well.
Yes, I think that's right.
I think that's 100% right, actually.
But good for Nick for doing it anyway. You know,
But he
'Cause
did
he-
backwalk it a little bit.
He did.
he still put it out.
That's true.
You know, he could have run it by Ellie first and said, "Hey, are you okay with me dropping this?"
Yeah, that's true.
But he just he did it.
Yeah. Tit for tat says they were blindsided.
Yeah.
We don't, I mean, I guess there's other than the trash video, which I do believe if Seth is still here, he can probably speak on that better than we could, because it's my understanding he saw that. But you know, what proof did they have that he made it back from Texas Roadhouse? Other than that trash video, that it's my understanding was pretty grainy and difficult to see. I'm not sure what other proof we would have.
The shoes.
Oh, here we go. It always comes back to the shoes.
Yeah.
Hi, Crystal. It's okay. You're late.
The shoes because it makes no sense to make yourself look guiltier for no reason. So why would you have unaccounted for shoes? Or why would you have all the shoes accounted for if he,
Right.
you know, let's say they passed him off somewhere, Texas Roadhouse, and got him in another car and drove away. What reason would you have to take his shoes off, put them in your car, go back home, put the shoes by the door,
Right.
just to make yourself look guilty?
Right.
So that's the issue to me with that. And then the trash can, which is probably Sebastian.
And also painting the narrative of a runaway as opposed to anything else. You know, a runaway would wear their shoes and their coat and take their things.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Marjorie Carthew, go to church cemetery hint.
Yeah, no kidding.
And there are lots of other cemeteries, actually not that far away. And there's not a, you know.
That one would definitely be the closest.
Oh, Susan. That's good. That's a good point. Go ahead, Mystery.
Agree, but I also think that is what has given Nick the privilege of being the SCSO mouthpiece now. I think they are giving him more and may have given him details that the public isn't aware of.
I think you're right. And we've known Nick for years. And he's a good dude.
He's done a lot of big cases.
Yeah.
He's just covered a lot of big stories. So
Yeah.
He may know more than he can say. I don't know.
I didn't know this. Of course, this would be
The
stepping over
person-
into rumors, but we don't know.
I don't know yet.
Isn't that
The person that owns that video game, gave it to her
Not
best
video
friend.
game, video.
Video.
Gave.
Gave it to her best friend in confidence, and her best friend shared it. Now the original owner is not friends with the person who leaked it.
I don't think I'd be friends with a friend with
I
the
don't
person
know.
who leaked it either.
Well,
I have not heard that.
why if you had a video that could have had incriminating evidence on it, why would you not want it to go to the police or to be out there?
Oh, Miss Smith's got a good point.
Well, the reason you wouldn't want that, let's see.
That's that. Yeah,
Oh,
man.
Mrs.
Psychological mind.
I think
games.
Ellie wanted him to leak it to put pressure on whoever is in the video. Maybe, yeah, that maybe.
That's a good theory.
That's why I wonder why they haven't been doing more things like that. I mean, if things are getting kind of cold, why aren't they? Because they could come out and drop a little piece of non-consequential evidence. There's things they could do to make people pucker up a little bit, you know?
Right. And I don't know if you guys realize this. I know you do. I'm not sure if Aunt E does, but K-Mac's son looks a lot like Sebastian.
yes.
A lot. He would, if he were out in a store and got his picture taken, people would absolutely think it's him. And so we've wondered, we were joking about I don't know if joking is the right word, but we were saying that would be kind of shaking.
Right. A way to kind of shake some branches there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point too.
Simply Red XOXO, those had to have been talked about, maybe because Seth would have said how many shoes he had.
Right.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. We think that she probably was just caught off guard by the question.
And it
wasn't prepared.
And we looked at, that was one of the things we looked at in our research at the beginning of this, before we started doing this channel, is that is a common occurrence, is missing shoes.
Yeah.
So a common occurrence in foul play, I should say, is missing shoes. So that was.
You see it all the time once you know that it's in a lot of cases like this.
Yeah, I think in our red flags video, that was one of my, or was that one of yours? I'm not sure.
Ooh, I don't know. We
had our red flags video. We discussed all of our red flags. Let's see. Chase D is asking, do you think that they're keeping an eye on KP and CP? I think they are.
Oh, yes. I'm sure. Well, I'm not sure.
If they're doing their job, they should be.
And Crystal says, I believe Justin Clutch Them Pearls had said that there was a statement signed by the neighbors, that Ellie had the neighbors sign a statement, according to his source.
And that may be why we haven't heard any more from Bobby or anyone else.
Right. You want to go ahead and read that one?
In my opinion, and with people's mental health nowadays, I believe someone has him or has done something with him. So many child abductions in Tennessee. So you're thinking outside of the family.
See, for me, it always comes back to the last people who see him.
I mean, if you're hopeful that he's out there somewhere, that is one of the scenarios that gives you some hope. Is that as awful as that is that it would be a stranger. It's just far more rare. I think CP told Seth to go to church was him saying, only way he'll find him if God tells him. Oh, I didn't even think of it that way.
Good way to think about it.
CP is too confident. I thought of like 3 different ways to take that sentence, and that wasn't one of them. But
I could see that too, though.
Yeah, that might be it.
Well,
see, at first, when I first heard it, I thought it was him being like sanctimonious.
Right.
Kind of like I'm holier than thou, kind of like condescending, whatever.
Seth
said differently.
I thought it might be literal.
And then, maybe literal. But Seth seemed to, I think if I recall, he didn't take that badly, that comment, like the way I took it.
It is a strange comment.
It is weird. I mean, we've had folks mention it many times on our stream, so it is one of those that has stuck out to people.
Let's see.
Yeah. There is no way he would leave without his shoes after getting bit with the ants unless she got mad and pushed him out of the house for some reason. In my opinion, I used to work at an autism school. Yeah, that's been the working theory for Peter Hyatt, if you follow him. That's kind of what he's been thinking, is that
something
locked
happened,
out,
he got
shoved
in trouble,
out,
got punished in some way. Yeah.
Get out of here, slam the door, lock it.
Expect him to come back and he doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he's thought. The trouble with that's just the cameras around there. But Peter doesn't look at that. Peter doesn't really factor that kind of stuff in as much. He looks at more behavior and speech.
That's a good. Yeah, I feel like we're doing our red flags episode again.
Yes. Lucy says, still find it sus that K and C left Hendersonville for Mississippi for quite some time. Big time sus. And that's also with the, earlier we were talking about the Gabby Petito. The parents went like camping or something like a week later, left the house.
With Gabby Petito?
No, the laundry family.
The laundry.
Oh.
The parents in laundry went camping like when you went back or something, left their house.
Red flag.
So like kind of fits that red flag pattern to get out of town, you know.
Excuse me, guys.
Marsha also says, is there cameras from Texas Roadhouse back to the neighborhood in KP? We actually did an episode of that. It's called, I think it's Sebastian's Path Home. And we did the logical ways that you would go home from Texas Roadhouse to look to see, you know, that's part of what we do is we drive around to look to see if there would be areas where someone could pull off or something nefarious could happen. And, you know, if you want to check that video out, I think that's probably 6 weeks ago at this point.
It's the one with Texas Roadhouse in the thumbnail.
Yeah, it's got Texas Roadhouse in the thumbnail.
Yeah, just to see if these ideas are even feasible or not.
And while I'm thinking of, sorry, go ahead.
But on that question, there were kind of like two main paths you would take. It would be either Vietnam Veterans Boulevard, like the main bypass, or a back road. If they did take that bypass, we've learned from the Trinity Bostic case that we do have on that highway the license plate recognition technology.
Oh, right. You might want to speak on that for a second.
Yeah, so we have that technology because that's what one of the big pieces of evidence they're using against the juvenile that's being charged in Trinity's murder is that they were able to tag him all over the place there with his car and place him in that area. So if Katie took that path home, she would have been picked up by that as well. And if someone took Sebastian or was leaving with evidence of some kind or anything, and they went to the bypass to get out of Dodge, then that vehicle would be picked up as well. If they went that way out by the Costco. Just depends on where they were trying to get to. But if they took the bypass, which is the fastest way to get, a distance away, depending on where they're trying to get to, there might be some pretty good evidence there. We just don't know if that's the path they took or not. If they were smart, they would have taken the country roads, but we don't know. If they were in a hurry, they might hop on the bypass. S. Schiller, I was so happy when Seth started doing things on his own. It's hard to get out from under people like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know which people though. Maybe some of the previous folks he had worked with.
I think he means like CP, like getting out from under.
Oh, right. Because they were all kind of trying to. I mean, it makes sense to try to work together at first, because like we were saying, you want these searches organized, and
right.
Yeah, it was worth a shot, I guess. K-Max says, I think it's odd that CP has referenced other cases. Other YouTube creators have mentioned similarities with cases in this one. It feels like they're true crime fans.
Well, we actually said that. We were listening to one of Chris's, was it the Sling Blade? Was it Sling Blade? It might have been Sling Blade.
I don't know. That
he mentioned Summer Wells and seemed to be pretty
up on the case.
Yeah.
It was strange.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, let's see. Oh, sorry. So is Texas Roadhouse not by Target anymore, but instead Indian Lake? Are there two locations? Actually, the Texas Roadhouse that was by Target is now called Puckett's, and the Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, that's right.
That Sebastian went to is actually near Sam's and Indian Lake, and but the one by Target is not there anymore. It is now Puckett's, and we actually ate there the other day.
People that don't live here must be becoming very familiar with the region, right? Because it's like they've seen so much about these locations. But it's not a far drive. It's maybe 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forgot that used to be a Texas Roadhouse.
I understand, Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, I know.
Gotcha.
Well,
I mean,
there's a few other housekeeping things I'd like to talk about.
Oh, do you want to do the
Song?
fun one?
Well, we can do the fun one, but also I'm not sure. Tit for Tat's still here. I think she had a migraine. Oh, she's back. Okay. And I guess somebody said they heard Granny's voice. I don't know, other than me hitting her with the door.
Charlene. It was Charlene.
Charlene said that. Yeah, she's not gonna come on camera. You know, it's just
You can't hardly just take like a regular picture of her.
right.
Like
yeah,
she hates cameras that much.
If you
know?
said that there were $1 million waiting for her if she did it, she
would consider
it.
Yeah.
But it would be brief.
It would be a big appearance fee.
Yeah.
To get Granny on there.
Few housekeeping things. We are if you are a member, and thank you to our members, by the way. If you are a member, we're going to be doing a true crime trivia night for our members. Hopefully, I'm looking at the 20, let me see what day. I am looking at the 29th or 30th for that. Oh, wait, no, I'm looking at January. Hold on. That's not, hold on.
That'd be a long wait.
Yeah, that'd be January. Yeah, you'd have to wait a long time for that.
29th is next Monday.
Okay, so it was still similar. Okay. I'm looking at, actually, you know what? We actually have plans the 29th and the 30th.
I would. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you did.
So, and probably the 31st.
So, back to school activities coming up.
So, okay, maybe the 28th.
Yeah, why not the 28th?
Okay. We'll do a special true crime trivia for our members that night. I've been working on it, so it should be fun. Let's see. And then our wonderful Tit for Tat created a bunch of songs for us. And let's see if I can get them. I don't know if I have them pulled up in here. Let's see.
I don't know about this.
Yeah.
It says, why was there a man in the river early that morning? Is that normal in February?
Oh, I'm not sure, Mystic. I'm not sure.
I don't know what that's referring to.
Yeah.
River.
Unless they're talking about the Riley Strain case and he was found in the river.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Let's see. Okay, sorry. Yeah, that was on the dispatch, Mystic. Yes, but what was she wearing? The woman at the top of the bridge, where the teen matching said was hiding under, and the man was at the river, was wearing black leggings. Was that Katie? There was talk about that on the dispatch about people being around. And
this is from the dispatch.
Yeah, well, people have asked us to find this bridge, and I don't know this bridge, and I've looked for it, and I can't find it. So,
okay,
yeah, it's the
go
dispatch.
back and listen to that.
Yeah, you know what? Thank you. Where's your pen, Mystic? Because I have been trying to find the good version of that, and I haven't. So it's Jessica Danielle.
Yeah, we'll check that out.
We'll have to check that out. Thank you for the information.
Okay.
And Marilyn says, my biggest problem with this case is no reward fund.
I agree.
Yeah.
Many workers of that family, why with no incentive? I know that Seth is using all the funds that he's raised to do flyers and searches. So, I mean, doesn't really have a lot of extra to put out as a reward.
And signs.
He's been
put
doing
out some of his signs.
Yeah, signs, flyers. And, as the months go on, less and less visibility, less and less money coming in from people wanting to help.
Right.
So there's just not a lot of money to put up as a reward. But you would think on Chris Proudfoot's side of the family that they would have some funds that they could access to help with that, or that there would be some law enforcement rewards and organizations that support the law enforcement with rewards. And that we've heard of nothing really.
Well, at the beginning there was a $3,000 reward.
Yes, but it dropped off.
Well, so we looked at like doing rewards. And it's
more complicated than it seems.
Yes. It isn't simple. And there's some legal like traps you can get into, like what constitutes, like people try to make false claims on rewards if they have information, but maybe it's not the right amount of information. And if you don't word your reward thing properly, you end up in lawsuits over people trying to get a reward that they're not entitled to. And so it's not like just as simple as put up a reward. And, it is you are sort of putting yourself at some legal risk when you do it.
That makes sense.
One of the ways I was reading about to kind of get around it is to put an expiration date on it. To be like, this reward is good through this date. And then when that date ends.
There's kind of two theories with rewards too. Sometimes they think it draws people out that may have some knowledge that it entices them to say something. But also, the research on rewards is it's really not that effective overall.
Yeah.
So, but I can understand why people are wondering why there's no reward. Because if there was someone that maybe saw something and thought, well, I'm just going to wait for a reward to be posted before I say anything. There could be those people out there that exist.
Joe Johnson says, didn't the dispatch say something about that he was supposed to be home or in by midnight? I kind of vaguely remember that, but I think maybe we should just do that on a video, is just pull up that dispatch and just go through it. I think that would be good. Might answer a lot of these questions, but I can vaguely remember that. To be honest, it's starting to be where
there's so much
that my brain can't hold on to all of it.
Right. You lose track of the sources.
Right. You do. And that was another thing about the misinformation. We were discussing this the other day about the misinformation and how, what were we saying? It says it was something to the effect of, with the misinformation. Oh, we were explaining this about politics.
Okay.
About how when someone gives misinformation and you've got good information, that all can get blended in together if you're not careful in your mind.
Oh, yeah.
Can you expand on that a little bit? You're eloquent. So
I don't know. I'm not going to name the reporter, but I can think of someone that does this. I know of a political reporter. 80% of their stuff is accurate. 20% of their stuff is clickbait and not sourced, and it ends up being untrue. And if you find yourself just kind of absorbing all of it, over time, your mind
just takes it all as
goes, oh, well, I don't know where I heard this. And you remember it and you're not sure where you heard it. And it's hard for our brains to sort fact from fiction. So I think what I was getting at was that if I find a reporter online that lies to me, a couple of times, I'm out. I unfollow, I'm done, because I don't want anyone deliberately clickbaiting me. So I just because I don't want to be misled on anything.
Right.
I'll tell you the reporter I'm talking about later, but otherwise they can be good, and some of it's good, but they mislead deliberately a couple of times, or and it's but it's hard for our brains to filter that all out.
And K-Mac says, how does the FBI offer a reward, but not in this case?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
You hear all the time FBI is offering a reward, for the information that leads to the arrest or whatever.
And then Diane says, you'd think with the socks money alone, their businesses, you could write off a reward. I haven't seen any evidence that they're just crazy wealthy. They seem kind of upper middle class to me. So I don't know if it, appearances can be deceiving too, guys.
I like
so
Crystal's
keep that in mind.
comment. Crystal says, I can't even remember where I leave my phone sometimes.
Much less something I've heard.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it gets that way, especially when you're digging into a case like this. And we hear so many different YouTubers and information that comes out that's legitimate, not legitimate. It's
the same problem. It's the same problem. It's exactly the same problem. Well, guys, if you want to stick around to have some fun, tit for tat. I'm not even sure how to do this, guys, to be honest, because I know how to message them to each other.
Are you not sure you can do it?
I'm going to try.
You could play them.
Oh, thank you, tit for tat. It says, nope, another rumor. They don't have loads of money. Their extended family might, and they travel a bunch for work. Yeah, that's the thing, is that a lot of people have tried to imply that they're these super powerful,
super wealthy
players in town. And
that's just not true.
No.
We hadn't heard of these people before the case, and we're pretty connected. So I don't know why people keep saying that. I really don't.
Mm.
It's not like they live in a mansion. They live in a neighborhood. It's not, in this vast property and stuff.
Yeah.
I just think they're just kind of middle-class people, just like most people in the area. So
yeah,
I don't know. Let's see.
Super rude. That's for sure. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm only speaking to their, oh gosh.
What she's saying, I think, is just that early on you'd hear people kind of say stuff about
how well
the Bowerstocks kind of run Henderson. Like
they don't.
Like you're kind of picturing this really small town where there's a couple of power players, and they're not.
It's like Dallas.
Yeah, it's not like.
No, it's not like Dallas.
There's a people. Yeah, there are powerful people here, but they're not in that.
But they're
group.
not in that group.
Mm-hmm.
The powerful people here. And when I said Dallas, I didn't mean the city. That was Dallas.
You mean the TV show.
Reference to J.R. Ewing. So.
And Pate says, I don't think the FBI has been called in yet. I think they were consulted, but they were not called in to actively investigate.
Well, it's because, Sumner County won't give it over.
Mm-hmm. They have to ask.
Yeah.
But Diane said she just meant that they had connections.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay, yeah, I misunderstood your comment. It's so hard when you guys type. Sometimes I'm not sure exactly what you mean. I meant their businesses, all the realtors, contractors. Seems like you're exactly right. Your personal contributions and businesses put enough together for a reward fund, and I agree with you 100%. And with those types of connections, you would think they could put that together,
and that would show that you care and you're working toward finding.
I mean, it is kind of silly, or not silly. It's actually, in my mind, a red flag that there's not a reward fund.
Right. And so Rocky, hi Rocky, I hadn't seen you all night. So you never heard of the Proudfoots and the Bowerstocks and the Proudfoots? No, never heard of them before this. No. Now we have mutual friends, and we have, now we know, but we would have never known them probably.
No.
So.
Yeah, even their church, who would think could possibly help with a reward. That's true.
Great point, tit for tat. That's a great point. All right. Speaking of tit for tat, I'm going to jump up here and see if I can play these. Oh my goodness gracious. These fruit flies are making me crazy.
We'll put the trap in here tonight.
Yeah, we need to put one in here.
I think they follow me. I'm telling you, I feel like Pigpen. I think they follow me. I feel like they're in my eyes every time I try to do anything. Okay. So Aunt E, you'll need to watch chat while I'm getting this stuff ready. And
I can do
it. You
it.
guys can do the talking. While I'm working. I'm sure I'll get some Mrs. E's angry comment. Let's see. All right. Tit for tat sent me a lot of edits. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Has their church been involved in any way?
I don't. Did they ever do a vigil at their church? Was the first vigil at their church?
I think they consider freedom. I think they said something like they go to multiple churches, but but Freedom Church is kind of their main home. Okay. Long Hollow did a vigil, which is closer to them.
Yeah, it's closer to them.
And I think they go there occasionally.
Okay, so
but I don't know.
I'm a little confused. So do you want to explain what Tit for Tat did for us while I'm getting it ready?
S. Schiller said, Mrs. E, you're not eating enough garlic or onions to keep the gnats away.
I literally ate onions last night.
You could wear a garlic necklace, kind of like for a vampire.
Does that work? I didn't know.
I don't know.
Try
I
it.
did not know that. That's a thanks.
Good night, Mrs. Smith. Thanks for joining
Oh,
Yeah,
us.
thank you. We appreciate it. Yeah, sometimes when we're going over stuff like this, it gets really heavy, and
It's nice to have some levity.
yeah, Mrs. E gets down and sometimes can't compartmentalize. So it's nice to have somebody like Tit for Tat to send me. Okay. That's a funny thing, Rocky said.
Okay.
Gnats are like lice. You're around someone that has lice, you can't stop itching. When the gnats are all gone, they won't be all gone in your mind. No kidding.
They're hard
I'm
to get
telling
rid of.
you. Well, what happened was, is 4th of July, I cut a giant watermelon, and we didn't have any bugs all summer. This is never, and we don't usually, but for whatever reason, the gnats came in and they're here with a vengeance. So anyway, so do you want to explain the Tit for Tat? So what she did here for us, or do you want me to explain?
You probably can explain it better than I can.
Tit for Tat, our sweet moderator, wonderful person, made us some intro and outro music for our show. And all of them are so good, we can't really decide which one we like the best. She says, I was convinced I was driving you nuts with all the ads. No, I'll tell you though, I'm a little confused on which ones I'm supposed to be playing. Let's see.
Oh, they were great.
They are great.
They
Yeah,
were
sorry.
great.
I'm trying to.
We've enjoyed it.
Well, my
Okay.
28-year-old son said he loved them, and he thought they were going to be so lame when I made him listen to them, but he liked them. So Tit for Tat made these different intros, but they're all so good we didn't know which one to pick. So we wanted your opinion. So this is the first. I think this is Tit for Tat's favorite.
The first one she sent?
The first one, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to play it. Let's see. I think I can do it.
She said any of them will work. It was minimal editing, and they're all titled.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see if I can just share it. Okay. This is one.
Unraveling these mysteries. Stay a while and share your thoughts. Help us break down
Why are
this
you
mystery.
laughing?
Grab a seat. We guarantee you're in wonderful company. Unraveling these mysteries with Mr. and Mrs.
That's smooth.
I like that. Okay, right. You guys, you're gonna love all of them, I'm afraid.
We got it.
Unraveling these mysteries with Mr. and Mrs. E. Mrs. E.
That's awesome.
I don't think you sent me this one.
I haven't heard this one.
Oh, you haven't?
No,
Okay,
I haven't
this is
heard
her
this one.
favorite.
Okay.
I just don't even know. That's beyond me.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Okay.
Let's hear some
Okay, it
other.
sounds like this one's wrapping up.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got to, okay, it looks like everybody loves that one.
This is cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Oh, wait, start it again. Hold on. I've got to pull it down.
okay.
So I think,
That's pretty good.
that one's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
we'll
pretty
call
solid.
that one number one. It's kind of bluesy.
Okay, we'll call that one number one. I think that was Tit for Tat's favorite.
Or jazz. I guess jazz. Or jazz or blues.
Okay.
Yeah, it had a I
Kind
don't
of
know.
both.
So then, let me see. Okay. Darn.
I mean, it kind of had the true crime vibe to it a little, right?
A
Like
little
a little,
I think that would be a good one to end it with. I think it's more like
yeah, we could have a beginning and an ending,
yeah,
right?
pick one that you
Okay,
start
I
with.
think
and one
that's
that
the one. Let's see. Okay, let's try this
Somebody
one.
said, is this for your podcast or YouTube channel?
I don't know. There's supposed to be a podcast eventually. We haven't gotten around to that yet.
Yeah, we're still trying to get good at this. I think
We're
that's kind
still
of what
not
we're
great
doing.
at
The
this.
tip for tat says the app is called Donna AI.
Cool.
And the Real Me Too, we are working with the apple cider vinegar.
We
That's
are.
what we're doing.
And it's not working out for us.
We're getting them
Where
slowly.
did I put this? Okay. Okay, here's another one.
Stay a while and share your thoughts. Help us break down this mystery. Grab a seat, we guarantee you're in wonderful company. Unraveling these mysteries with Mr. and Mrs. E.
I love it. I like this one.
It was very 80s Friday night videos
He's
to me or
been
something.
fun.
With Mr. and
Love
Mrs. E.
All right. So that was number 2. What are your thoughts? Okay, no, people don't like
K Mac says there is nothing AI can't do except solve crimes.
Okay,
Maybe
so
we should put
people-
AI to work on this.
Okay,
Let's see
so
what
far
happens.
everybody likes the jazz.
Dang, I like that one the best.
See, and we're kids of the 80s, so that might be my favorite too. Oh, the Real Me Too is with us.
Okay, wait till you
I-
hear the third
Okay, there's
one.
another one. There's one more. Hold on. I gotta get it. Let's see. I gotta pull this
I think
one
we could use
down.
2 of them though. We could use one as an
We-
intro
yeah.
We
and
could
one
use,
as an
well, I
outro.
guess we could
Rotate them even.
Yeah, we could.
That's a good point.
But people
Maybe we don't have to pick.
And Lucy, you are right. The 80s did rule.
The
They-
80s
it
are-
rolls.
Let's see. So this is. Did I play 2 or 1?
You did that one last time.
This one.
Yeah, yeah.
So do this one.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, do this
I
one.
think that one.
Some-
I think
Okay.
so.
Me, mine,
Oh yeah.
Eloquent, intelligent, keeping the missing relevant with Mr. E, Mrs. E. Let's not forget the sweet and E, and of course the best Grandy, unraveling these mysteries. Stay a while and share your thoughts. Help us break down this mystery. Grab a seat, we guarantee you're in wonderful company. Unraveling these mysteries with Mr. and Mrs. E.
Thank you, Tit for Tat.
Mr. and Mrs. E.
So yeah, that's kind of more like a little dance version, right?
I like
Marjorie,
them all.
I know Marjorie's bloody shoes. They
Whoops.
could have
Whoops.
bought new shoes to bring home. Nobody else knows how many he had.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta
Let's
think
see.
about that.
Okay.
Oh, so Breezy says number 3.
Ooh. Okay. We got a mixed bag here.
Dreaming of Blue Skies wants a replay.
A replay.
Hear the first 2 again.
Okay.
Okay, so this is kind of mixed a little bit.
Very mixed. They've all mentioned.
I
Yeah.
think we're getting more number 1. Well, no, I don't know.
Yeah, I like one. I do like the lyrics
of number 3.
of number 3.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
do. I like those a lot. I like them all, to be honest.
Well, maybe we should just rotate them and not use the same one.
I think number 1 is getting the most.
Yeah, definitely people like that.
So
It's
it
just-
should either be the
I'm
opening or the ending.
surprised because that's not usually my jam, but I liked it.
Oh, it's so good though.
It's,
Well, and then it's a lot of replay 1 and 3. 3 is everything. 3, another good one.
so 2's out. Like our favorite was out.
Yeah, that was my favorite. I think we should rotate.
Maybe you could be one for the trivia.
That is boring. Agreed.
Stay a while and
Thank
share
you
your
for
thoughts.
sharing.
Great.
Help us break down this mystery. Grab a seat. We guarantee you're in wonderful company. Unraveling these mysteries. With
Oh, she sent me an
Yeah, we're getting more number ones than anything, but it's probably one.
And lyrics before you can place in one.
I don't know.
unraveling these mysteries. With
Put numbers in a hat.
Mrs.
Like,
E. Mrs. E.
well, throw me to this thing number 2. Right. I think I'd like the number 1 best too.
Okay. Well, it is your show.
Mrs. E.
And it's what the people want.
Oh, yeah, right. I think it's very nice.
No, actually, I mean, they're all great. It wouldn't matter. But, and maybe it's just because I hadn't heard this one yet. The other 2 I'd heard the other day. So
Okay.
maybe it's like because it's new.
Well, she also sent me an outro today.
Okay.
So let me see if I can find that. Okay.
Too many choices.
I know.
I got to download it. Hold on. Oh, couldn't preview this file. Why not? Okay, hold on. All right, here's the outro she sent me today.
Should we save the outro for our outro?
I don't know.
Actually, just play it as our outro?
I don't know. Maybe.
Or do you want to just...
Oh, that's a good point. I could do that. I've got to get it ready, though. I've got all these mysteries up here.
Yeah.
A lot of people say the jazzy one goes with the logo.
Yeah, I agree.
It does.
I agree.
It
fits,
does.
and somebody else said earlier it fit the vibe.
Well,
and I
Dreaming
think
of
that's
Blue
true.
Sky says, I agree. I think one definitely fits the logo and is consistent with branding and marketing.
Thank you.
Oh, well.
I think. All right. Dreaming
Yeah.
of blue skies and sandy beaches. Will you take over our
Well,
branding?
thank
and
you,
marketing?
Tit for Tat, for doing this. This
Yes,
was awesome.
thank you so much. These are awesome. I needed it. I actually really needed it. It made me really happy.
Yeah.
I smiled and laughed and was happy.
Oh, we
and
all loved
clapped.
it. We loved them.
Everybody,
yes.
we shared it with the family, and so everybody
Yes.
was loving this.
Everybody
Yeah.
voted on which one they liked, and it wasn't that one.
Let's see. And Little Lee's in there singing it right now. So
So it's just
I like the new vibe of 3 too. I like number 3.
Yeah.
I like number 2, number 3.
Oh, whoops.
Like 2.
I gotta save that. Hold on. Yeah, we just needed to have some fun. And for those of you that are members, speaking of fun, it looks like we're gonna have our true crime trivia night for prizes on July 28th. I'm not sure what time, but as soon as we set a time, I will send that out to you guys. I guess.
well, I just want to recap the stuff we did before.
Okay,
Are you
sure.
going to actually do the outro as the outro? Is that
I
what you're
probably
thinking?
am. I
right.
probably am.
So I just want to go back over just what we, not a whole lot of just like breaking news
Look
tonight.
at that. How cute is that? Marsha's so cute.
Replay. I
love it.
First we go for beautiful rides, and now I can dance.
Oh, we should do a poll. Okay, let me work on that
we
while
could do
he's
a poll.
doing that. Okay.
Yeah. So in case you're joining us late, we basically talked about 2 different cases tonight. At the beginning of the show, we were talking about the Trinity Bostic, who is the girl that had been found on July 3rd, and her abductor and her killer is facing first-degree murder. He was a juvenile, but he's going to be tried as an adult. Well, there had been all these like crazy rumors kind of surrounding her case, and one of those teens that's spreading those rumors, she is now facing charges for falsifying evidence, and I got to look up the other one here, and false reporting. So she's a juvenile. We can't release her name. But it was some pretty awful things. And she sent some of those messages actually directly to the mother about how she had basically dared Alejandro to unalive Trinity. They're like that. And called her names and all that type of thing. So it was really, really kind of, awful. But some new charges that came out of that case, and that trial's coming up here in just a couple of weeks. And we'll be following that also. And then really the only other kind of big news with Sebastian is just that Seth is going to be doing another live stream on Thursday. And he's going to have the father of Gabby Petito on there with him. Not exactly sure what that format's going to be, if it's going to be kind of like a conversation or an interview, or how that's going to happen. But, we went back over a little bit with the Gabby Petito case just to kind of let people know where, that father was coming from. So it should be interesting. And we're always glad to see Seth run the channel and keep Sebastian's name out there. And because that awareness and all of that will continue to help keep the case alive and keep people talking about him. But that's kind of what we went over tonight. And then we did some of our own original filming. The ladies went out and recorded the cemetery nearby. I hadn't seen that until tonight because we had been separate today. So I wasn't along for that ride, but I got to see kind of the lay of that land because that is an area that had been of some interest in different theories because it's so close by and well away from cameras and right adjacent to that construction area where the retention pond and all that had been. So definitely interesting to see that spot. Do you want to do the outro or anything else before we go?
Well, I would just like to remind everybody that we have a lot of people in chat, and we would love it if you could give us a like. That helps us with the algorithm. Oh, hold on.
Got a message.
Breezy. Member for 1 month, Sebastian Strong. Oh, Breezy is crushing on the Sandman. Member for Oh my goodness! I'm at the very beginning of our show.
Yes, you are. That was a long.
That was so weird. Breezy's off to bed. Good night, Breezy. Thanks for joining us. All right, I'm gonna say. Did you remind everybody about Seth's? I was zoned
did
out.
7:00 on Thursday. Seth's YouTube channel. So.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'll be checking that out. We'll be talking about that, I'm sure, pretty soon after.
I am pretty sure there's going to be some great moderators there, right? The Real Me Too.
I was Real Me Too moderating for that.
Oh, Mrs. E, we lost. I know. Okay, I'm ending the poll.
Oh, the poll.
Last few seconds.
Where is the
Oh,
poll?
number 3 came in last. That's surprising.
Hold on. Here comes the poll.
Where is the poll?
I can see the poll.
I can't see.
Hold on.
Let me see the poll.
You got that up pretty fast.
Yeah, I'm good.
We should do polls, I think, more often.
I think we can. Yeah. I'm just, you guys, we weren't, like we've said a million times, we weren't expecting to have people even watch us.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought we had a good 2 years to learn how to do this
We only
stuff.
had 39 votes.
We've only had 39 votes. Come on.
Come on, guys. There's 174 watching. Which theme song did you like the best?
I should have put an option like we don't care, We think your theme songs are silly or, something like that. That's it. I mean, Cricket's like wanting us to not wrap it up. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't.
Mystic.
41 votes. Come on, guys. 41.
All right. Let's just go ahead. Let's just
Just go ahead and end it.
No, Cricket, do you think Sebastian will be found? What is your honest opinion?
That's a good question. Do you think he will be found?
Man. It's hard for me because I know my bias is an optimist.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to say yes.
I want to be optimistic, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
Guys, I know it feels like we've been doing this a long time, but it's been 5 months. It's not.
Has it only been 5? Are you sure?
Has
it even been that long?
Yeah, it's been 5 months.
Wow.
Well, I mean, even if he's not found, you might have answers.
Right.
I just don't know.
We were actually talking about the Dylan Redwine case, and it took 2 years.
Others, yeah,
Took 2 years for his dad to get caught.
yeah.
So,
And he, yeah,
but I mean, you know,
I kind of agree with Cricket. She said, I want to say yes, he will be found, but it will be a while. I feel like that's kind of where I'm at as well.
well, the thing is, I think we all want him to come home safely. We want him to have been away.
And that's what we
That's
pray
what
for.
we pray for, that he's safe and that he will come home to his parents. And, you know, I think that we all kind of hold on to that hope. But anyway, oh yeah, the Romy 2 says Seth will be here at 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Like I said, I'm sure he will have some excellent moderators in there. Good people. And you guys, let's go out and I think we should go out and support Seth on his channel. I think it's going to be a really interesting show, and I look forward to it. So,
yeah.
I would like to hear Gabby's dad, because that was a case I really followed and was interested in. I'd like to hear how he's developed the foundation that he's created.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll have some interesting advice for Seth, who's, you know, in a similar type of situation with all this media attention and how difficult that's got to be. So,
a few things. The analyst has, in my opinion, they scaled the search back because they realized it wasn't a runaway. And actually, that's one of those things that Stephen Crabtree had said that they told him. That law enforcement told him that's one of the things they did not retract.
Right.
Do you remember?
Right.
What
they retracted the last time he had been seen on video was the 26th.
Yeah.
That was the part that he did that apology video and retracted, but he didn't retract, and nobody ever denied the 72-hour part. And what that 72-hour part was that they came across something within 72 hours that made them do a 180 from what they were originally believing.
Yeah.
And we don't know what that was, but you would have to think it made them go from thinking it was a runaway to something else. The unfortunate part about that is 72 hours is a long time, because you can cover a lot of tracks in 3 days if you're doing something criminal, you know. So
Sorry,
that's,
I was just saying hello.
Yeah, I think he will be too. So it ought to be really good. I'm hoping it's just kind of like a conversation between the two. That's kind of what I want to see. That's all. But I don't know. I don't know what their plan. I'm sure they've got a plan.
Yeah, let's. I'm gonna look. I'm ending the poll, everybody. We have 51 votes. Last chance to end the poll. Which mystery theme song was your favorite? Number 1, jazzy. Number 2, 80s, or number 3, pop. Last chance. I'm closing it now. And we got one more vote. Closing it now. All right.
All right. So it's jazzy.
So it looks like Jazzy is the winner.
The big winner.
Yeah, Karen, I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't, honestly, I don't watch TikTok and stuff. I know a lot of people say he's talks a lot on TikTok. We don't really watch TikTok. Honestly, we are lucky enough to get a show together to be able to be here. So we don't have a lot of time. We do watch some of our favorites, and I think you guys will see us in chat of some of our favorites. But it's I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't listened to much of him, like when he's just
him personally,
because
right? I've only heard him with Seth.
I never was interested in hearing from a spokesperson because they don't know.
I think he is there mostly just to support, to help, and to guide.
Yeah.
And I think we all would want mostly to hear from Seth and have him share. But I know he needs some help developing and working, and
need somebody to lean on.
Yeah.
The thing is, too is we try to avoid the rumors. We take all the rumors we read and hear about with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And so, that's kind
Before we go to, just want to say, yes, thank you very much for Tat and Olivia. We really appreciate all the mod help and the music, of course.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun to do here at the end. I think
That
everybody's
was
kind of
fun.
enjoyed that.
It was nice to have something fun to do. But yeah, I know what you're saying. It's a tough role. It's a tough role. All of it's tough. Every bit of it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
I try to give people grace on stuff. But I understand what you're saying, and I do notice that.
I think we just need to see where that goes.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
we need to see where that goes. And the main thing is that we're there to support Seth. And, if we are there to support Seth, we need to support him and just be there for him. And, the rest of it's noise. So.
K-Mac wants to know, are we playing the music on the way out?
Actually,
are.
no.
Oh, we're not?
We are
Okay.
playing.
Outro.
We have an outro that Tit for Tat made that is specifically an outro.
Okay.
Because, I'm
Have I
not
heard
good at this
I don't
stuff.
think I've heard this.
I
have
think actually
I
it would be
haven't.
better if Tit for Tat would just marry you and move in here, and she would probably be better at this show than me.
Oh,
That'd be better.
Yeah,
But-
we're doing great.
Speaking of which, it's time for a haircut. So, anyway, let's see.
Thank you, Marcia.
Oh, listen to that, sweetheart.
If you guys knew my story, you would understand why I love to go for rides. You make my day, and now I'll be able to dance. Thank you for a wonderful evening.
Marsha, you are so sweet. And there are so many of you that have been here pretty much since the beginning.
Mhm.
And we appreciate you so much. And we can't thank you enough. You guys have been so supportive and so kind. And I have to say, we have probably the smartest chat around.
Yeah, we do.
We
Tit for
do.
Tat said, "Oh Lord, not a wife swap."
Well, it's funny because Aunt E and Granny have been here doing a lot of stuff lately, and they help out when they're here. They pull their weight and then some. And I've been joking that Mr. E loves having his sister wives here. Exactly, Mystic. That's what we were saying.
Funny.
Okay. All right. I think we're going to wrap it up, guys. We're tired. You're tired. It's been a ball. We've enjoyed you.
Yes, it's been a while.
Oh, Heather, and thank you too. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We still haven't figured out how we're going to end the shows, but Tit for Tat did make us an outro, so we are going to do that.
Maybe we'll just end with outros.
We'll just end with the outro. And again, everybody, don't forget to go visit Seth on Thursday and watch his show at 7:00 on his channel. And thanks, Seth, for joining us in chat tonight. Thank all of you members for joining us. Thank all of you subscribers for joining us. And welcome new people who have never heard us before. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and we appreciate you. And anything else, guys?
Okay,
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Until next time.
Until next time, have a great night. And here comes our outro.
We remember you. We remember you. Ooh. We're still here for you. We'll shine a light for you. We're holding on a hope for you. We remember you. We remember you. Ooh. We're still here for you. We'll shine a light for you. We're holding on a hope for you. We're holding on a hope for you. Ooh. We remember you. We remember you. Will you remember